All right. We are here. We are live with our 64th
Yes.
episode of OnPoint, the Gaming Newscast. And yeah, what a week. What a week. Even right up to the run up to the show, like we normally don't get that much like breaking stuff, but like I feel like the gaming industry is just falling apart right now.
It's
Like
been
the
one heck of a year, guys.
Yo,
It's been crazy.
It's in shambles right now.
The gift that keeps on giving. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Yo, it's so wild right now. There's so much stuff going on. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you everyone in the chat. I am CMoney. You see over on this side the very lovely Doodle.
Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're so excited. Let's freaking go.
Absolutely. And in the middle, you see the man himself, Madman.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's me indeed.
Let's go.
I'm ready for a show.
So you guys see the thumbnail. It's going down, bro. Shit has been crazy. Jimmy Boy's out, and we're gonna get to it. But Jimmy Boy's out, and I think it's only fair that we celebrate this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All
I
right.
feel like he would not want us to mourn him. I feel like he would want us
I think
to
like
celebrate.
he wants us to party it up. So let's just take a moment. Everybody do a little dance for Jimmy. All right. Little shimmy.
Little shimmy, shimmy.
A little shimmy, shimmy for Jimmy. All right.
Before we get into the topics, though, let's get into some quick housekeeping. As you all know, YouTube hates us and they refuse to allow us to monetize. So if you do so have any desire to help support the channel in any way, please feel free to go ahead and join our Patreon. It is linked in the comments above, is pinned there, and you could join these fine folks down here on the ticker. Want us to big a big shout out and thanks to our boy Jacob Novick,
Yes,
Mr. Doana Dark,
woo,
and Dragon Heart Yobi.
Let's go.
Much love to you guys. Really appreciate it. Now, I don't know if you guys were around or if you were here, but on Tuesday we had our show, Her, Him, and a Guest, and wow, was it a phenomenal show?
That was
everybody
pretty amazing.
Who came out.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We had our amazing guest, Colt Eastwood.
Yes.
So that was like such a privilege to be able to have him come on our show. We were very thankful. If you guys didn't watch it, please do so. Show him some love. So thank you guys for that. Next week on Tuesday, we have our next Her, Him, and a Guest. And next week's guest is gonna be our boy Dirt Griggity.
Let's go, baby.
All right.
That's gonna be fire. So definitely make sure you tune in for that one. It's gonna be an awesome time. And we have our show tomorrow, which is gonna be at a special time, kind of like today's show. And that's going to be On Point Anime and Beyond, and it will be at the same time as we are live right now, which is going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we're doing that because we will be going to our boy Mav and Fun Speculation show at night. So we need a little time to kind of have a little breather there. But that's going to be a fun one, so definitely tune in for that. And this weekend show is this show, so you're free this weekend from us. We got nothing for
We'll
you.
be back on Monday with Morning Quest, baby.
Yes, we'll be back on Monday with Morning Quest, which is with Doodle and myself. And we will talk about anything that pops off this weekend or from now to then, and any overflow that we may need to cover. It's a good, fun time. Be in the chat. It's a great time. You know, it's a
big shout out to Jacob. It's midnight.
Yes.
Over there by
that's impressive.
And he's out with us hanging out. So we're so happy that you're here. Thank you so much.
Appreciative. Six Layer, welcome. Eric Reed, welcome. T Maybe, what is good, guys? Thanks for coming to rock with us. Much appreciated. All right. That being said, that's all out the way. We're gonna get started with our topic of the show right after this. All right. Topic of the show. You read it here. You've seen it all over the place. Jimmy Boy is gone.
Jimmy Boy is kicking rocks.
Little Jim.
Sony has finally given our boy Jim the boots.
He's walking in the mud right now.
I feel like we can't even call him our boy anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gone. You know what I'm saying?
He's our unwanted child.
I don't feel like giving any niceties to him anymore. So it's just like that dude Jim, who used to be somebody,
now he's just somebody that we used to know.
So yes, so he went ahead and he's out. So let's look at it from the scope that he's trying to give us. So what they're saying is that he is retiring after almost 30 years with Sony. To be clear, that's almost, right? So if everything was so amazing and great for you, right? Why would you just go almost, right? Like, why not hit that big 3-0?
Right? It's right around
make it a huge thing, then retire, right? But obviously, that's not legit, right? This is bullshit, right? But he did say, this is his reason. He says, and tell guys, I want you to chat. Let us know if you believe him.
Tell us what you feel, guys.
Okay? Let us know if you believe him. But he says that he's retiring because he's too tired of the constant back and forth between his house in England and his office in America.
That's just petty.
But like, I guess my question is, Jim, if you're so annoyed with the flying, why were you flying all over God's green earth to try to stop this 80K deal from
literally, bro? Take a nap.
Like, seriously though, like,
and let's not act like he has not been doing this job for almost 30 years.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing it from England for most of that time. He took over.
So then he can do it now from England as well.
Well, no, the offices are in America.
Listen, where there's a will, there's a way. CMoney. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Guess where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
His way is not happening.
No.
He's out. So, all right. Let's take the temperature. Your first reaction when you saw the news that homeboy Jimmy Jim is out like a thief in the night.
He is freaking out like he stole something.
What was that first reaction when you first read that? When you first saw it, what was the reaction?
You're asking me, see?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
What the fuck?
I wasn't expecting your reaction. I wasn't expecting that type of reaction.
Listen,
big boy,
straight
what's
up.
good? Shintaro, what's good? Welcome.
Welcome, you guys.
So, all right. So that was your reaction.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, after you did that initial burst, okay, what else came? Like, what else was your thinking feeling?
Okay, so then I was a little bit confused because he's saying that he's retiring. Jimmy, we know what's done. I'm going back to all my receipts, and I'm like, you did this, you did that, you did this and that this year. It's not adding up, Jimmy. So I can't wait to get into it. See.
All right. Now, MADMAN.
Yeah.
You when you heard the news.
Oh, I heard the news.
What was your initial reaction?
Dumbfounded. Like, I thought Jim Ryan was a loser, but I didn't think he was a loser enough to just ditch his company during this time where it's struggling the most to keep up with Xbox. Pathetic, honestly.
All right. So that would not be great. Bunty, welcome, my man. Welcome. So this is the thing, right? They put out this whole thing that he's retired. And again, we kind of just said this, but MADMAN, I wanted you to hear it again. He is quote unquote retiring.
Oh.
But we know that there's a lot of shit that went down that got him to this point. So let's see what's out here.
Well, CMoney, what was your reaction, real quick?
Oh, my reaction. I felt this immense sense of joy. It was wild. I read those words and I was like, this clown ass smile just came on my face. I was just like, whoa! Like, I was just so happy.
Joker smile.
It's so weird because I feel like I've been watching so many different takes on the internet of Phil gotta go. Phil gotta go. He's not competent. He can't do this job.
Look who's out, bitches. Look who's out.
Phil is right now just chilling, smoking a fat blunt is out on his deck, just looking out to the world like,
life is good.
I got you, bitch.
Yeah,
I got you. He took him out. This was an assassination.
it
Okay?
was.
It was. If you look at it any other way, you're wrong. Phil made the moves
to
that
make this
ended
happen.
up putting our boy Ryan in the grave of CEO ship.
He was like, yo,
Okay? He was out.
Jim, hold this shovel right here.
Yeah.
Get to digging.
Literally.
We gotta get you in there.
He's just standing at the top like, keep digging. Keep digging.
Dig that hole further.
He does.
Is this deep enough?
No, keep digging. All right, that's the way it went down. Eric says, no, I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I think he wants to leave before Xbox closes the gap anymore so he can say he left at the top.
Yeah.
Eric, that's exactly what I was talking about. I said it on Boom Show earlier. It's 100%. I said it even before the show. I tweeted it out. I was like, yo, he was like, this is not going to end well.
No.
This is not going to end well. I got to go before people start putting me in those words, right? If I leave now, technically, we're still on top, right? Technically, we're still the big dog. If I leave and we're no longer the big dog after that, that's going to be somebody else's problem, right? He doesn't want to hurt his legacy.
Yo, Sony, I don't fuck with you.
You know what's wild, though? Even though he did all this shit that just made everything horrible, right? They still gave him a better farewell than Sean Layden, who was responsible for all of this growth that PlayStation has had with video games, right? With all those games in motion, all the work that he did, he got ghosted. He was just like, you're deleted.
You're done.
Bye, Sean Layden. We don't know you. You don't exist to us anymore. Whereas
Jim Ryan,
seriously, whereas Jim Ryan's out here doing this horrible crap. And they're like, well, he gave all his time.
Like irredeemable.
But they know that if they ghosted his ass as well, there'll be a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Right. Jacob says, I don't believe him. I believe he was fired.
Yes.
Like Ron.
Probably.
Well, I do believe so this is the thing. I think they went to Jim, the head honcho at Sony, and they were like, listen, my man.
Sign right here.
You can either be made to be disappeared or you can leave graciously. Which one is it? And Jim was like, I'm good. I'm out.
Let me get that box.
What a loser.
I'm gonna fill it up with my. You know what? Keep it. I'm out.
For real. Eric says that the death nail was the report that Xbox was more profitable than Sony. That was the up right there, Eric. Good point. Good point. Six Slayer. This is his reaction process. He said, 1, he was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
2, PlayStation is fun
in so many ways.
And 3, LOL ponies, baby. Yo, facts. Oh my god, that's such a similar route in my mind. I was just like, yo, this is hilarious. I can't wait to see how the ponies try to damage control this. And they're damage controlling it by not even like acknowledging its existence.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're like the kid who's who they always wait every week for their dad to come pick them up
and he never shows up.
He never shows up. And they're just like, well, I guess I got no daddy.
Maybe
again.
next week.
I got no daddy.
Not again.
That was hilarious, man.
No, but the way they're reacting to it, it's also, I saw some stuff about how we wouldn't be behaving this way if Phil was the one who was fired. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, that's ridiculous.
If Phil was fired, every headline from every news outlet would say Xbox is dying. They are
now
gone.
He's buying studios and making shit happen.
That's what I'm saying. But if he left now, if he was 88 years old and he was like, all right, I gotta go, guys. I'm just tired. they will still say
We saw it
Xbox
coming.
is doomed.
Yep.
Xbox has no games. Xbox are worthless. Like, that's literally how this would be going down. Meanwhile, people all over the place are like, man, that Jim Ryan gave 30 years of his life to Sony. Thank you so much. Shit, even the fucking Xbox, like Phil
Yeah.
Spencer, Mike Ibarra, Stein, I saw saying the same shit. Man, he gave 30 years. You know, as fucking Phil.
I mean, if you're just sitting around being a
Yo.
loser,
as he's getting that tweet
Really?
ready to go, he's just giggling. You know that GIF with that guy who's
Yeah, when he's thumbing his
laughing. Yup, that's real time footage of Phil typing out that tweet to Jim.
I mean, I believe
He's
it.
like, we give 30 years. And I took him out. He couldn't survive. That's hilarious.
Crazy.
It's so dope.
That's genuinely
Man,
Oh.
what a day.
Taro says that's insane that Jim Ryan really bitched out when PlayStation is struggling the most right now. Yeah,
Facts.
it's some clown shit.
Yeah.
Hey, live supremacy. What is good, my man?
Welcome, baby.
It's going down,
Welcome.
bro.
Yo, Ryan got filled.
Yeah, let's just
Pause.
say things got crazy.
Yo,
Yo.
that should be a hashtag. Ryan got
Hashtag
filled.
Ryan got filled.
Yo, I love it.
Yo, that's hilarious, yo.
Gerald Mack is in the chat. Welcome.
Yo,
What's up,
Gerald
Gerald
Mack.
Let's
Mack?
go.
What's up? What's up? Jacob says the new CEO believes mobile games is better. Yet again, copying Xbox. Facts. We're gonna hop into that because that's a huge facts right there. Big boy. He quit because he ran
Hello.
out of PlayStation 4 games. Yo,
He ain't got nothing else lined up.
for sure, for sure.
Freaking Jimmy.
Bunty, I'll be back. Sounds good, my man. G maybe says lying, crying, too much flying, third party tying, CMA buying, COD losing. So now we dying, getting the boo, called it retiring. Hasta la vista, fucking Jim Ryan.
Holy
Damn.
cow, my
Yo.
ears are bleeding.
Win.
I feel like that needs to be
Hell
recorded.
nah. That was
Right?
wild.
Need to make a beat, put that on there, and that's just the way we start every episode.
Every show. Damn.
Oh my god, damn, that's fucking amazing.
Hell
gross.
yeah.
Joe Mac says Jim Ryan left because he did not want the challenge of trying to change the mindset of his fan base. That is facts right there.
Yeah.
That is
Very true,
facts. I
very
can see that. I can see that. Jacob says the question, CMoney, is if PlayStation loses the market leader status in the future, can we blame Jim a bit? Say yes. I say yes. I say yes. So
I mean, I
this
say
is the
yes.
thing. And Boom brought it up and he made a good point about it. And like Jim's quote unquote successes were really like the remnants of Sean Layden's era.
Yeah.
Right? So everything Sean put into motion and had things ready to go, that's what Jim kind of benefit off.
Yeah, he continued that.
Yeah, he just
the
continued
pattern,
what
yeah.
was already there. Whereas now, I mean, we really don't know what the pipeline looks like going further. We have ideas. We can,
Ponder.
hypothesize based off of our knowledge of the studios that they have, but we really don't know. I mean, shit, we thought we were going to get Factions this year, but Bungie went ahead and shot that shit in the head as soon as they showed up. So, like, I really don't know.
You know what's crazy? That's a situation of like when you let your kids run shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Jimmy went to Bungie to ask them what to do. Like that's when you know they have no idea or control of what the heck to do next.
Absolutely. Eric says Kotick is still in the industry while Ryan is walking. Yo, that's so true.
Ryan
right there, yo.
is being dragged out.
Yeah, Ryan 100%. He was just taken out. Purple Berry says I think he was fired too. I think that's just what it is, man.
We know the truth, Jimmy.
We do know the truth. Six Slayer says I think he was forced out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, we got to make that a short. Six Slayer says.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Let's go.
gotta-
I like that.
clip that Let me star it so I can find it. I remember it.
Mr. Joanna Dark, welcome. Let's go.
Mr. Joanna Doc,
Mr. Joanna
welcome.
Dark, what is good, my man? G maybe says it only works because it's true. Facts.
It is. Bars.
Purpleberry says I blame Jimmy Boy for everything wrong with PlayStation.
Listen,
Again, that's
guys,
completely
this is
fair.
like the thing to go to though. At this point right now, you having a bad day, I blame Jimmy. We
I mean,
gotta
it's hard not
freaking
to
just
hate the guy.
roll with it. You know what I
That's such
mean?
a
Put it on Jimmy
such a
right
Jimmy
now.
ass day,
That's
yo.
a Jimmy ass
Jimmy-
day, yo.
Jimmy just needs
Yo,
he's a new verb, right? Or new adjective. You Jimmy that shit right there. This is a
Yo,
Jimmy
you-
ass day.
You Jimmy, that's it.
What's
Oh,
a
man.
Jimmy
And anytime
day?
you do something dope, it's just like, oh man, you just got filled,
You
bro.
got filled out, yo.
Pause. You just got to end it. End it with pause at the end. Nah, this is oh my god, it's just so dope. Because I remember, Jimmy came on after that whole like debacle with Sean Layden just disappearing, and it's like, oh, look who's here. And it really for the first time in a long time, because PlayStation had Jack Trenton, had Andrew House, had Sean Layden. Like these were personable people. You know what I'm saying? Like people that can go up on stage and you don't want to like hide your face from watching, right? Like Jim Ryan's a special type of, I don't know how they said, you know what, let's get him on stage, right?
He's gonna talk people into coming our
Seriously,
way.
like the most
Yeah,
non-gamer person in the world, right?
yeah.
But
He's
you
old. He
come
probably
from-
plays board games on his free time.
Maybe you come from like that legacy of these like three kind of powerhouse leaders that made such big moves for PlayStation, and then you get to this guy who basically he really just like lost the soul of PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was all about the money, and yeah, I know he built them up, dollar wise. He made the dollar moves, right? He made the moves to make the dollars make more sense. But as far as like the community is concerned,
He sucked the life out of it.
Yeah, he really did. Like we have PlayStations. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And he really didn't give us anything to feel like a community. Like they started doing those I forgot what they even called them. It's been so long, but they used to do those fan events like the Xbox Fan Fest.
Yeah.
They had a PlayStation one that they were starting up and then they cut it, right? They dropped E3, right? They dropped all these things, and it's like what happened?
You know
what I'm
what
saying?
happened? He's a businessman, so he's looking for where to cut, right? Where to cut that money, and that's where they went wrong, I feel like. And for everyone out there, the PlayStation fans that are ponies that are trying to make it seem like we're celebrating in hopes that maybe PlayStation finds its way back to what it used to be, to potentially get out of that box they freaking put themselves into and come and give us game, come and give us excitement, come and give us a community where we can all just freaking enjoy good games and kind of stop this war that's happening, because they were a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean the war is always going to be there, but at least we can have like something to be excited for, like something to look forward to. Like, I mean, it's so evident that Jim was just all about saving the dollar. Like you could see it in the games we've had from PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean, call it what it is. God of War Ragnarok, that nowhere near met the expectations of what we were hoping that game to be.
I mean, visually, agreed.
Visually agreed. Well, even gameplay wise, agreed. It was it just seemed like he took the first idea and instead of going further with it, he just like added the more attacks or more this. It's just like more of the same crap. But they really did not hit the same heights as they did with the first one, right? And then graphically, for sure, that's where I think the dollars were really evidently missed, right? Like that's where they weren't putting the dollars into, because God of War, as good as a game as it was, looked like God of War 2018.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just a slight bump. Wasn't worth it to me.
John Wolf, welcome. Jimmy is
John
gone.
Wolf, hello.
Jimmy is gone. Those are the facts. John Wolf, what's up, my man? But yeah, like you can see it there. And even I'm gonna say it, I don't care. Spider-Man 2, man. Like, listen, Spider-Man 2, it looked really shitty in the summer. This last trailer, it looks much better.
It
right?
does.
But it still does not look like this is Spider-Man. Like, this is your first place. God damn it, Doodle. You guys gotta stop saying shit. She starts laughing.
Can you highlight that real quick, please?
Where? Which one?
Jimmy working at Home Depot. I can just picture it, like picking up bricks. Like
Which one is it? I'm trying to find it. Oh, Jimmy
God.
working at Home Depot.
Can you imagine?
That's wild.
They'll be like, nope. No, thank you.
That's not a good luck. That's not good luck. John 907, what's up, my man? Welcome.
Let's go.
What's up?
So, God damn it, Doodle. I was
sorry. You were in the zone. You were in the zone.
And then
My bad.
you started laughing and making that
That's
cute
not me.
face that distracts me. Can't think straight. Yes, Spider-Man. Okay, so Spider-Man is again is like just this first game, the 2018 game.
Yeah.
And then like they're trying to literally make it a big idea that they added like another strip or another borough. Like, oh, it's almost twice the size. Yeah, well, if you had to make a new map from scratch, maybe it would have been just the size, right? But no, you're using the same crap plus adding. And again, graphically, there's nothing about that says, yo, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. What?
It looks basic.
We're gonna see
as
this
shit
game
graphically.
in 6 months be announced for the PlayStation 4 version. Because it's just, God damn it, Doodle. What? I can see you. I can see you there. You keep making that face and you're smiling and you're laughing. Just read what you say. Just say, hold on, CMoney. I'm gonna read this in the chat so I don't just keep you talking. Tell me.
Mr.
What are
Johanna
you seeing?
says Jim selling fake wood at Home Depot.
Jim selling fake wood at Home Depot.
Wow.
Oh my God.
God.
Jesus.
I see it in my mind. My bad. Yes, that's true. See.
Oh my
no, but
Jesus.
I understand. Listen, Spider-Man, I was expecting much more. The first trailer that we saw, I got excited. Then they showed us the little preview that they had, and I'm like, what the hell is this? A year later or so, and it's like it should be that much more. This last trailer that they showed us did look really good, and it got me super excited for what Spider-Man could be. But again, it was kind of like they used the same foundation, they just added, like you said before.
Yep.
See, they could have went ahead and moved the freaking game, done it somewhere else. Like, just excite us with more and different. And I feel like that excitement for games they kind of have lost. And I agree with you with God of War as well.
Yeah, I mean, even Horizon Forbidden West, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a PlayStation 4 version of it. It's a PlayStation 4 game. If there's a version on the PlayStation 4, then that is the game. They just boosted up the graphics a little bit to make it look better. And that's the sad part, man. Like, you could just see it. And Live Supremacy put it right here. They took Japan Studio, merged it into the Asobi team. Like, why? Just because they don't feel like anything outside of their wheelhouse of the third person over the shoulder, sad dad simulator. Like, they don't feel like that anything outside of that would make them money. And it's so sad. And that's, we got to give it a big up to Phil Spencer over at Xbox for having the foresight to see that there has to be diversity in games. There has to be more than one type of game that's going into Game Pass so that everyone can find something they like. And even if you are a person who prefers that third person, more mature game, you can still go find some of these other experiences that are dope.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's sad that studio is gone and they're going to be regulated to making what the next the little robot guy, what's his name?
Damn it, I can't remember.
Astrobot?
Yeah, wow. I can't believe I forgot about little
Fun fact.
He's cute.
Astrobot is my one and only platinum.
Oh yeah.
Ever. I've never platinum a game before.
Ham, welcome, baby.
First one. Who?
Ham.
Ham, what is good,
Let's
Ham?
go.
Ham, we're gonna have one ham of a time.
Eric says Bungie using Sony like they used Activision. Publish my game, then we walk away with everything. Bungie, you gotta give it to them. They are smart, bro. They are so smart. They took $3 billion from Sony
Yeah, that's crazy.
to just give them some tips and tricks.
Jeez.
They literally have no control over them. Bungie, as soon as Bungie feels like they're being pressured, they'll just say, you know what? We're out. Thanks for the $3 billion.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because,
Crazy.
again, we praise him for being such a businessman, but then he makes the dumbest freaking decisions.
You know what?
He's out there fumbling and stumbling. Every step he takes forward, he takes like 3 back. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? He just did not know where to take PlayStation anymore. He didn't know what to do.
That's it right
And
there.
I think
He didn't know.
He didn't know how to
they
move
were
forward with the
sleeping. They
brand.
were
Desperation
sleeping.
is what he
Yes,
had.
he was desperate. They were sleeping while Phil was building. It's like that Three Little Pigs
Damn.
story, right?
Damn,
brick
they were
house
sleeping while Phil was
yes,
building.
that's the problem
Damn,
that they
Doodle dropping
have.
bars.
Because
right there.
listen, they took for granted the fact that they had about a year where Xbox was out of the game. They went ahead and sat pretty, acting like nothing else could happen, and they will never make a comeback, right?
Yep.
Philly got that wallet. He went out there, saw him buying a bunch of stuff. They should
They're
have
like, we don't need to do that. We'll be organic. We'll do it organically.
Dude, they saw that happening. They needed to go ahead and come up with a plan. Why could they not foresee what was coming? If they're buying those studios, what do you think was going to happen when that wheel started rolling?
It's literally idiotic.
It's
wild.
so stupid.
It's wild. But this is the thing. They knew. Jimmy knew. He knows he couldn't fight dollar for dollar. You can't go up against Microsoft. And Sony is like they're like a unicorn. They're so rare because they get to perceive themselves and to emote as if they're big
greater
and
than
bad.
they are. Yes.
But
And they
tiny
talk.
and fragile.
When you
They
see
have 2 bad games. If they spend the money on a Spider-Man and a God of War and they don't sell,
yeah,
Sony's in ruins, bro.
Yep.
Literally, like blow up the whole studio.
It's crazy that they have the balls to treat the industry as if they're the big dogs of the world just because they have more boxes. I tell you right now, you already seen a mass exodus from PlayStation. Okay. This has been evident. This has been happening. Okay. Nobody's making a big deal about it because it's happening to PlayStation.
Yeah.
If this was happening to Xbox, there'll be news articles around
all over the
about
place.
all of these topics always. Let's not forget, SEGA has hopped out of bed with PlayStation. They left. They said, you know what?
I don't want you no more.
You ain't
That's what
making
It's
me
not worth it.
reach my climax anymore. I'm out. Okay. I'm finding
Fuck this
somebody who
shit.
does. I heard Phil be putting it down. Right. So that's where we going. And that's where they went. Right. Persona coming out on Xbox. No problem.
Even Sega's like,
Persona
bro,
6
go
is
fuck
going
yourself.
to be announced same time release for Xbox, maybe even an exclusive, maybe even in the Game Pass. Okay. So that is the reality of Sega situation.
Yes.
Their last kind of people who were hanging around, kind of hoping that this would work out, Square. And what do we see last month?
Wait,
Was it
Phil?
Phil holding hands with both of their big dogs,
Yeah.
the CEO and the head of Final Fantasy.
That was epic.
They have moved away from Sony.
The
They
red
distanced themselves
flags
from
were
it.
all over the freaking place. And this is the thing, see, and yes, they don't have Microsoft money, right? They don't.
They don't.
But
Facts.
if they have a brain, they can go ahead and make the right moves. They can go ahead and maybe spend a little something on the right studio, spend a little something on the right games. All they kept doing was they got hungry. They went ahead and found a couple of games that will work, and they thought that that was going to be enough to compete. Now, Microsoft and Xbox, they're out there making games for everyone, which at some point, that was the problem that they had, right? They wanted to make everybody happy. But now with this newfound money and the new studios that they bought, they can't do that. And now that they're caught up, they're making everything for everyone. There's something for every single beast out there to be fed. And that's the reality of it. And now
Facts.
Game Pass? Are you freaking kidding me? Jimmy's
Absolutely.
like, what am I gonna do to turn this switch? Nothing. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can see they thought like they really believe, and they said it multiple times, like, oh, Xbox's Game Pass style day and date, that's not gonna work for us, but we're gonna get our own streaming, or not our own streaming, our own subscription service going. We got this premium, we got the premium, bro. There's nothing premium about that
Yes,
shit.
they just call it premium and they
Nothing
charge
premium, bro.
premium, but they're not giving you premium luxury.
The
They're
word
not
premium
giving
should
you
not be
anything.
associated with that. And they have like that's like listen, first of all, this has just been like a snowball coming down the hill. Like we knew this was coming because dude, they went ahead, they launched this premium service, right? They didn't give us anything.
There's nothing in there.
Value.
Yep.
And then they raised the fucking price. Like less than a year later or a year later, they raised the price like $40. Like, what is that?
Where's
like,
this money gonna go, Jimmy?
To do what?
You know what's crazy? He's out, but I still want answers for all the shenanigans he was running around here doing.
Honestly, we just need this guy to fade from existence. Erase him.
Well, he will be erased. No, listen, nobody's gonna remember his name. He'll be lost. There will be a savior of PlayStation. There will be a youthful gamer who takes over and pushes them in the right direction. Facts. We know that we couldn't see Jimmy out there because John Wolf says, I thought I saw Jimmy at Wendy's today when I got my chicken sandwich.
Jimmy's flipping burgers.
Mr. Joanna Duck says Jimmy opened an OnlyFans for crying, right?
Wow.
No, Jimmy, it's Jimmy. I opened an OnlyFans for crying, Ryan. That's hilarious.
Well, came in at PS3 probably or something like that.
Jimmy has given us enough material that I feel like he should have his own reality TV.
Listen,
I've been saying this shit.
I want the chat to give us their best Jimmy roasts.
Let's go. Okay? Let's go.
Choose your most devious roast of Jimmy in the chat. Do it, and I'm gonna read them out here.
Let's go.
Right.
Joanna Duck says Jim is now living a third person over the shoulder home for workers. Sad. I'm retired.
Freaking Jimmy.
Oh
Dude.
my god, that's hilarious. Jacob says if we compare Starfield against Spider-Man 2, I gotta say Starfield was shown 3 to 4 times, but Spider-Man 2 was shown 5, 6, 7 times, and I could actually get turned off if the game is shown too much. That's true, and
because
especially
there's very little in there, honestly.
Yeah, there wasn't much substance.
Yeah,
and what they showed us wasn't great, literally until this last one. And again, that's like saying, man, that really, I don't know, ugly person got a slight facelift, so now they're not quite as ugly, right? Like that's what we're looking at here. Like the game looks so bad that when they showed us this last one, it's like, oh, okay, well,
this is great.
That's amazing because it's so much better, even though it still just looks like a
not enough,
slightly better version of the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man, right? And that's just what it is. Let's see if we have anything. Oh my god. Bungie is the Amber Heard of gaming.
Oh damn!
Straight up divas. Damn. Ham, what up, man?
Hi, baby.
Let me see. I'm okay. A little disappointed to find out someone I thought was cool is actually a scammer, but I'm okay. Oh yes, I saw that. Did you see that, Doodle?
No, I did not. What happened?
Like this dude, I don't know, some guy. I don't even know his name. But they had like this talk. I guess people were giving him money for some reason, and like people were on him, yo. Like, how much you get? How much you get? I give you 40. I'll take that. All right, I'll eat that. But how much you get? More than 800. Like, what the? So random, dude.
Welcome.
Jesus, this is where we've come,
baby.
Void Rat, what's up?
Void Rap, what is good? John says, I've been saying it for years. Pimp Spencer always had the vision.
He did.
Facts.
Pimp
Maybe
Spencer
says Apple said you look good, but you got to get rid of your emotional baggage before we update our
Oh my
relationship
gosh,
status.
G maybe. I said
Maybe
that to CMoney
Damn.
we're
this
gonna
morning.
be talking
Dude,
about that.
What?
oh, I can't wait. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Dang.
There's bigger picture out here from what's happened that
Yeah.
we need to take a look at. G maybe says we're not here to take baby steps. We're here to do business.
Exactly.
Facts. You could tell it's Jimmy when he doubles the price of your fries. Oh,
Yo!
damn.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Then it comes to the game and told to hit X every half hour. Facts. Void Rap, what is good, homie? John says those Sony hacks about to expose a dirty
my
video
gosh.
of Jimmy and Lena Khan with Lena Khan screaming, "Block the deal, Jimmy, block the deal."
Wow.
Yo.
Oh my god. That's funny, yo. That's funny. But yeah, so all right. So kind of taking a little bit more of an outside look at what's happening here, right? So obviously Jimmy's gone. And I think a lot of people were very confused, and me included, to find out who they put as a replacement, not even a permanent replacement, just like an interim replacement.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, right there, that tells you that they for sure did not have this planned,
Planned.
right? Because they would not go ahead and just have some random, like have somebody take the seat for a while. They would find somebody, announce their retirement, tell them who the new person is going to be, and do a nice handoff, right? Now they brought in what's his name? Hiroki, or did I just make that up?
Toroki.
You potentially did.
It's possible. Hiroki, somebody in the chat, tell me, is Hiroki Todoki? I feel like that name makes sense, but again, I could just be
Butchering
making
the
that up.
name?
Yeah, I could be butchering the name. Oh, Hiroki Totoki.
There you go. You were really close.
I was pretty close.
If not, you may have possibly said it in there.
Now, this is we're gonna dive into who they use to do the replacement in a second. But the fact that they used him, who is from he's second only to this actual CEO of Sony. Okay. And this guy, I mean, he might be a blessing in disguise for PlayStation, because it seems like he's aligning his thought process more with what Xbox's thought process is, right? Because the guy who's taken over he has a bigger belief that mobile is the way forward, right?
Oh.
Which obviously we know that's what Xbox has been
Screaming at people to
screaming about
with please
the
believe us.
FTC and the CMA. It's
just
like, nah,
want
man, this is for mobile. Like that's where we want to grow. But this guy he doesn't think that the video games are the most important. He thinks that the mobile games are more important. So that's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. He maybe says he's the CFO, isn't he? It's possible. I don't really know his title or what he did there. I know he was there for a long time, and he's second to the actual CEO. But the bigger question was, what's up with like Herman Hulst, Shuhei Yoshida, shit, even Scott Rhodey, I think, is a name that gets thrown around a lot over there. I mean, maybe not him. I guess everybody has their place, but like it sucks because Shuhei Yoshida was demoted, right? Herman Hulst took his place. And seems like Herman's not good enough, or maybe Herman and Jim Ryan were very aligned with their thinking.
That's possible.
And they don't want to have that same thinking. Because I mean, what's the alternative, right? Are they going to bring an outside person like who was not from Sony, and have them come in and change shit? I don't know. I don't know.
This is the thing, see. We were talking on one of our podcasts and we were saying, what if, right? Microsoft has Xbox, right? What if Apple comes in now that they're trying, that they are putting these games on their phones? What if they go ahead and they buy PlayStation, right? If they buy Sony, now we have Apple, right? And we have Sony. And all of these games, like The Last of Us and Spider-Man, exclusive to Apple phone, right? As well. Like, that would be huge. So when
Makes a lot of sense.
I think about that, and I'm like, okay, so what if they're taking Jimmy out? They said, you know what? Clean the house. We can't have this guy out here with the year that he had and the meltdowns that we've seen in the way that he's spoken about your brand, right? We can't
Yep.
have him on board. So no money for you if he's with you, right? So
Yep.
obviously there are contracts. Obviously this date was pushed out, but they don't have a replacement, right? They're going to put someone else in temporarily or whatever it is they're planning to do. Why? Could it be because they're getting bought so that they can actually compete with Xbox?
Well, it would make sense with this mobile guy, right? Right?
Something,
The guy
yes.
thinks mobile is the better way, right?
Exactly. So it aligns way too much with the entire thought process.
So
and honestly, it would be the best thing that could possibly happen to PlayStation. Having Apple money
so
to
that's
back them.
that's the bigger discussion, right? And that's what I was trying to kind of get to, and I'm glad you brought it here because you know, again, things are so dire for PlayStation in the long term. Obviously, not short term. Short term, they're still dominating. The world is not going to really understand what's happening quite yet. You know, you need some time before that rolls out. But in the long term, PlayStation, there's nothing that PlayStation can do. There's nothing that Sony can do. Nothing that they could come up with, nothing that they can create, nothing would ever bring them to that $1 trillion status.
Never.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's 100% out of the question.
Yeah, there's no
I
timeline
don't
where they
know.
get that successful.
No, nothing.
That's
There's
not
nothing that
possible.
can happen. Nothing at all. So if that's the case, you have to imagine if you're Sony proper, right? We got Jim Ryan out, right? If we have the mobile guy stepping in to kind of hold it down for a little bit, and you start looking at the outlook of the future, and you start saying, like, we cannot compete with them dollar for dollar. It's impossible. And the hardcore games that we make so well that people love. Okay.
Yes, I love that you did that people love.
Yeah,
because
you gotta do the math,
Do the
right? You gotta
math.
do the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie. Everything else is just emotion,
Yep.
right? It's an opinion and it's wrong because the numbers will tell you the truth and the reality.
That's the beauty of math.
Is, if you went ahead and took the fact that there's 120 million PlayStation 4s, and there are about 50 million PlayStation 5s, right? Or let's say 40, just to make it a lower number. You have about 160. Let's say there's some crossover in that number, right? So you have maybe 140 million PlayStation consoles that could, at any point in time, purchase Spider-Man 2018, God of War, Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, right? When you look at the numbers, it's baffling and it's so revealing.
Yep.
Because it shows you why they're panicking. Because they have, oh, look at how excited we are. We have 120 million, 140 million people who have a PlayStation in their home right now. But their best-selling title, God of War, Spider-Man, I think is more, but that's Marvel, right? So that's a different thing. God of War did 20 million in sales.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty good.
140 million available consoles, 20 million in sales.
This is the moment when I say I'm no mathematician, but the numbers ain't right.
Meanwhile,
Boom,
Nintendo sells Mario Kart 8 and is like 60 million copies or whatever right now.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Like, that's the point, right? When these PlayStation dudes, they get so pumped, right? They get so excited. They're like, oh my God, we're the dominant ones because we're amazing. Nah, homie, this is the thing. The reality is that there's only about, let's be generous. Let's be generous and say that there's 35 million out of 140 million that are hardcore gamers, that are hardcore PlayStation fans. Let's put it more that way. 35 million. That means, right? Because again, only 20 million bought God of War, right? So if you figure between the other studio, the other games that came out, there's some overlap where some people bought it, some people are new to buying it. 35 million. That means 100 million people who own a PlayStation are not PlayStation fans. They're just buying whatever is the popular console to buy because they want to have access to Call of Duty, Fortnite, FIFA,
Yep.
Madden, NBA 2K, right? The games that constantly like top the charts, Grand
Yep.
Theft Auto 5, right?
And they just happen to have chosen a PlayStation instead of an Xbox.
Exactly, because that's where the zeitgeist is,
Yep.
right? Everybody says that the PlayStation is the console to get, so they get it on the PlayStation. Meanwhile, Jim is like, "Oh my god, there's 140 million people. We're gonna sell so many copies of our games," but that number doesn't change.
Yep.
The number doesn't rise. When they had 50 million people who bought the game, they still sold the same amount as when they had 100 million people, right? Barely changed. Because again, all those people, they're not showing up for PlayStation. They're showing up for the games they like.
Yep.
And PlayStation is the brand that people know, right? But that is the difference. Once this deal goes through with Xbox, where they own Call of Duty, again, it's not going to be exclusive, but we remember, okay, those of us who are old enough remember when Xbox had the marketing rights for Call of Duty during the 360 era.
Yep.
And who was on top during the 360 era?
Xbox, baby.
Xbox. It was
Boom.
Xbox. Damn, look at that. That's dope. But it was Xbox. Okay. And what's going to happen is, listen, obviously, it's not a flip of the switch, right? It's not going to be like they own Call of Duty, everybody's out. No, no, no. This is a death by 1,000 cuts, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen is every time people go out there and they're on their Twitters or they're on TV or they're watching a football game or they're seeing a bus drive by and there's a Call of Duty advertisement for the next game and it says play day one on Game Pass. Play day one on Game Pass. Got Game Pass? Play day one.
Yeah.
It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. And what's going to happen is slowly but surely, more and more people are going to be saying, well, I didn't upgrade from, I'm still part of the PlayStation 4 generation. Let's be clear, guys. Let's not forget. A lot of the PlayStation 4 buyers were converts from the 360 era that went from Xbox to PlayStation. Okay. So these are not people who are just predisposed to loving PlayStation. So slowly but surely, you're gonna have those people with PlayStation 4s under their table right now or under their desk or wherever it is, and they're looking, they're saying, "Man, I want to upgrade, but what am I gonna get? Well, what do I normally play? Well, I play a shit ton of Call of Duty, and I did see some of these other games that are in there. Wow, do I need a PlayStation? Or do I go to Xbox, get Game Pass, and I get the game that I want, plus hundreds more every single month of my life?"
And plus, Call of Duty.
I know the answer. I know the answer. I'm gonna get the Xbox and get Game Pass.
Yeah.
All right.
Most people will.
Yeah, and also Call of Duty was marketed by PlayStation for the longest time. So, if people were like, "Man, I love Call of Duty," but this average stupid consumer who doesn't know that surely it'll come to Xbox too, sees that PlayStation branding every time I see an ad of Call of Duty, they're like, well, "Why not just get the PlayStation?"
Well, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the point, right? The marketing being gone, the marketing being on Xbox's side is going to make changes. And I don't know now with Jimmy being gone. I'm not sure if this helps or hurts the idea, but I was definitely of the mind that once this deal got closed with the Xbox owning Call of Duty, I was of the mind that Jimmy was going to cut ties with that deal and back out of it, and we would see Xbox on Game Pass. I'm sorry, Call of Duty on Game Pass this year.
You know, see, I'm not so sure about that anymore.
I mean,
With
is it though?
Jim out?
Yeah, but maybe with Jim out, they're like, bro, we need to make as much money as we can right now. If
That too.
anything, they got rid of Jim, and if anything, they must be like, dude, let's just make more money.
Yeah.
It's 10% of Call of Duty.
Yes, it's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy. And listen, people already have the PlayStations, right?
Yep.
And so they are going to go ahead and pick up the freaking game,
Absolutely.
right? What are people more likely to do? Say, okay, I'll wait till next year and move on to Xbox, right? Let me just get the game here on
Yep.
PlayStation than to go
Absolutely.
ahead and buy a brand new box in the game or get Game Pass, right? So people most likely this year is going to go as planned. Meaning people are
Yes.
not going to go ahead and jump ships
Whether the
right
game
now.
is Game Pass or not,
Yes. So that
PlayStation fans are still
10%
gonna
is
buy it
just
on
going to
PlayStation.
come in clean. They're
Exactly.
not going to lose
is
any money.
gain money by breaking that
Yep.
deal and doing this. So you gotta
Business-wise, it makes sense for them to get out of that
Absolutely.
ASAP.
Absolutely. And you got to remember this year, this will be the last best year that Call of Duty will ever sell on PlayStation.
Yes.
Meaning this year is the most that it will sell because come next year and every year after that, again, slowly but surely, people will start pulling away from playing it on PlayStation, even if they have a PlayStation, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who bought an Xbox for Starfield.
Yep.
And there'll be a lot of people who buy it for Forza. There'll be a lot of people who buy it for Fable. There'll be a lot of people who buy it for Hellblade.
Call of Duty.
And let's
Hell.
not forget about that deal they have coming for the holidays. It's in like
Yeah.
$199. Are you kidding me?
If the leak is to be believed, you're looking at $199 for a Series S. How do you not just say, you know what? Let me get it there. I spend $199. I get Game Pass. I have Call of Duty in there. Plus, I have these other bangers that Xbox is providing
Yep.
on a constant basis. It's a no-brainer. I honestly can see this generation right here that we're in right now. I could see it mimicking the Xbox 360 generation in reverse.
Yeah.
Where Xbox had that humongous lead on PlayStation, but by the end, PlayStation caught up and ultimately passed them.
That's
I
wild,
agree
bro.
with that.
The
See?
amount of content that Xbox is putting out the rest of this generation and going forward, I could 100% see more people joining the Xbox ecosystem than are in the PlayStation's ecosystem.
I
And
agree.
to be clear, that's not necessarily consoles, right? That doesn't mean that they all bought an Xbox console, but that does mean that they went ahead and got on their PC and they're subscribed to PC Game Pass. They went ahead and hopped onto their phones or TV and subscribed to Ultimate and have cloud streaming, right? Like, I do wholeheartedly believe that by the end of this generation, there'll be more people playing on Xbox's platform than there are in the PlayStation ecosystem by the end of this generation. I can't see another way where it works out.
Yeah.
There's just too many high quality games that are going to be coming, and the marketing being what it is with PlayStation not having the Call of Duty marketing, even if it's not this year, even if that doesn't go the way I think, and they keep it's over. This is the last game. So 2024's game will be in Xbox Game Pass day one. Okay. So even if they get this year break, the wheels are in motion. Okay. It's happening.
Yeah.
There's going to be a mass amount of people who are going to join in the mobile space because, again, we don't even know what Xbox is planning on the mobile space after they buy ABK. Let's be clear. The iPhone being what it is now, more as capable as it is, there is nothing stopping Xbox from saying, you know what, let's sell our games on the iPhone.
Yep.
Let's put our games in the App Store. If they can't get the store like they want,
and that sounds like something they would do, right? If they can't go
Absolutely.
ahead and get that done, what they're going to do is go ahead and do that because again, what do we see with Microsoft? Their pattern is they want to get their games everywhere. They want to have their games everywhere. So this just makes sense.
They want it everywhere except for on a PlayStation.
Yes.
Even though they will
Basically.
say that they would want to, but we know that PlayStation would never allow that.
Like inside, like you can imagine if Bill Spencer had those emails saying like talking some shit. Imagine the lunchroom where he's like, "Man, those bitch asses, look at us stomping them." Like I feel like that he probably cusses them out like every other day.
Well, listen, there's a lot of tension there. So I can't wait to get into what could have possibly gone wrong.
Well, let's see in the chat here. You have Jacob saying if Totoki is going to make PlayStation focus to mobile more, then it could actually be worse than Jimmy Boy as CEO because again, he believes mobile is better than console and focus too much on that. Well, this is the thing. PlayStation is in a situation where they need to make money. That's just the reality of what it is.
Yeah.
They cannot survive in this landscape of gaming as it is because their pockets are not deep enough. You know what I'm saying?
Not only do they need to like go ahead and make money, they need exposure, I feel like, other than just their PlayStation. Um, I thought with their handheld, they were coming to whoop some ass, and then that just makes no damn sense the way that they set it up. And I still feel that they were working on something, and then they said, you know what, this is costing too much, considering the way that they've been doing business lately, and they just kind of backed out of it and left it halfway done. Because I can't imagine that they thought that that was a good investment. I just can't.
I mean, at this point, we could only hope that they get it sorted out, right? Because we do want a PlayStation that is capable. I mean, honestly, I would love for them to get purchased by an Apple or an Amazon so that they can have the dollars to back it,
Yeah.
right? Like
They need the money.
it.
They're never going to stop making PlayStation games. What they're going to have, they're going to have the funds to go ahead and buy studios to go ahead and spend money on these games. Even if they don't bring in the amount of money that they were expecting, they can still go ahead and have these game and these franchises continue, because that's the problem that they're having. They have to cut them off because they feel like that's not enough of a profit for us to have. And that's how they've been shaving everything off. If they have the money there, they can go ahead and start pleasing people in general, gamers in general. So they can go ahead and give us these games that now can also be on the phone, right? And there will be a lot more money coming in.
Absolutely. 100% agreed. G maybe says, plus, if he is the CFO, he is well aware of the financial situation and will be able to make decisions quickly. And that is 100% true. Like he has to see what's happening back there. And he knows that at the end of the day, either something substantially changes in their situation or they can't sustain it. And if they can't sustain it, they're going to have to do less games.
Yep.
They barely make games.
And that's the
You know what I'm
thing.
saying? Like,
Yes.
they're barely making games
They're
right
barely
now.
making games.
What do they have? Five franchises that we all know and love?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? What? God of War, Spider-Man,
Last of Us,
Ghost of Tsushima.
And according to
Ratchet
Jim,
and Clank, I guess.
they're
That's not a
big one.
trash. According to Jim, they can't do anything.
Horizon.
Oh, Horizon.
They keep trying to shove it
Five.
down our throats and pretend we like
Five.
it.
Those are 5 that they're actually keeping, right? Uncharted is not active right now.
I feel like they sold consoles on a promise. Like they were like, "This is gonna be the craziest generation yet," and like nothing
pinky swear.
major is
we
happening.
believe in generations.
Literally. Meanwhile, they're doing worse than Xbox.
It's wild. It's wild.
Jeez.
No, that's definitely man, there's a reckoning coming. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see how this actually plays out. Sean T, welcome, my man.
Welcome.
John says Jim Ryan seen the storm that was coming. Keep it real. PlayStation is the most popular game is going to be rented to them. Wait, PlayStation's most popular game is going to be rented to them. And this happened under his reign. Facts.
Yeah.
They're going to be paying Xbox for the rights to sell Call of Duty. That is crazy.
That's hilarious.
There's no, dude, talk about revenge. Talk about, like, you know, it's crazy because obviously we've seen how, you know, Jimmy Jim deals with his frustrations, right? Absolutely. And now we're seeing how Phil deals with his, right? It's, I don't know. That's something. It's
getting done. Sean T says, I used to think Apple and PlayStation made sense, but at this point, I don't know that Apple needs Sony's hardware. They don't.
Yeah, they do not.
Let's be clear. You listen, there are a subset of people who have this belief that the phones are not going to be the future of this industry. And I gotta tell you, obviously not for like a Microsoft who's has their own console or PlayStation who has their own console, but like as far as who does the numbers, first of all, mobile already outdoes console gaming. Let's just make that clear. Like we are already the minority. You know what I'm saying? We are the niche when everybody else is everywhere with their phones, right? So phone gaming is the way that the vast majority of people play their games. The fact that the power has reached the point in a phone that they can go ahead and take our games, our Resident Evil 4 remake, our Resident Evil Village, our Assassin's Creed Mirage, not the mobile version. It's the same game, and it's coming onto the phones. Just to be clear, we had this on Morning Quest a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, but let's be real and understand this so that we can be on the same page here. Xbox has what, 20 something million consoles sold right now for their next generation, and PlayStation's at like 50 million, right? And it's been what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Every single year, 180 to 230 million iPhones are purchased. Brand new. 180 to 230 million phones. Million of them. Okay?
I'm getting mine soon.
In 1 year. If you don't think that there's, even if you take we did the numbers. If you did like 3% of that, you would have like just 3% of the people decide to buy the game. You would have almost 8 million sales of a game.
Dude, that's insane.
Just 3%. I'm sorry, but that's why. That's game changing for developers.
Exactly.
If real game developers, and I'm saying real in the sense of like not mobile versions, right? If you're making your real game and you're saying, okay, let's think about this. People made their game for PlayStation first because they had double the install base as an Xbox, right? What do you think's gonna happen when Apple sends out a phone as the dev kit and says, oh, by the way, there's about 200 million people this year alone that are going to buy that phone?
Yo,
you don't think that the dev says to themselves, maybe we should make a version?
Hell yeah.
Let's port the game.
Sign me up.
Let's port the game. It's going to be roughly the same as making it for these consoles here.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? And guess what? Apple's stack is so crazy, like their development stack, they don't get the same credit as they should. People are concerned when there's like a Xbox Series X and a Series S version, okay, that you have to make a game for. Bro, Apple's development stacks allows developers to make a game, and then the stack will move it through all of the older phones. It just works on all of the other phones, and it just moves how it needs to, lowers the resolution, lowers the frame rate, everything, just with their stack. So what's going to happen? Well, guess what? This year, this is the test phase, right? So that's why this is not crazy. That's why this is not everywhere going wild. This is the test phase because only half of the people, maybe not half, maybe less than half of the people who buy an iPhone this year are going to be capable of playing those console level games because it's only the 15 Pro that can do it.
Yeah.
The regular 15 cannot handle that level of graphics. Okay. So that is why this year it's not going crazy.
Yeah, they said it very chill.
But next year, this 15 Pro will become the base 16.
It's crazy.
And
Yeah.
then there'll be an even more powerful 16 Pro. And dude, it doesn't stop. Every single year after this moment, you get a new phone that is more powerful. And I can appreciate that people are out there saying, "Oh, you're gonna pay $1,500 to play this." No, you don't. No, you don't. Let's stop. You're not gonna pay $1,500 because you already play your games on your console. Okay. Those people are not paying $1,500 to play games on their phone. They're paying $1,500 for the phone that they want to go on the internet, to do Twitter, to do TikTok, make their phone calls and
The
their text
only
messages.
benefit is that now you can go ahead and play these freaking games. And the benefit of buying Sony, if buying PlayStation, is that now they have The Last of Us, they have Spider-Man, and they can play these games. So that is beneficial to Apple, right? And the money that will come in from having these games on their phone.
Facts. That is the big deal. Because if they can say you can play Last of Us on your phone or on a PlayStation, whichever one you want, no problem. Dude, there's no way you don't think that there's going to be over time that percentage won't grow from 3% to 4%
Oh
to
my
5%
gosh.
to 6% to maybe 10%.
Yes.
It will eventually get to the same percentage as a PlayStation 5 and Xbox attach rate. Okay. That's what will happen. And when you have 3% equals roughly 8 million sold, you get to 6%, that's 16 million sold.
I would tell you, listen,
Come on, man.
I'm sure that those studios are going to be dying to make these
It'll be
games. It will be glorious.
for
And
the development studios
this is
out there.
amazing for those studios, those smaller studios that go ahead and people barely buy the games. To get a deal
Absolutely.
with Apple to have their game there is exposure, is advertisement. It's what they need so that they can continue to do what they do.
I mean, like we see that Google and Amazon failed with gaming because they clearly weren't trying. They thought it was much easier. I mean, Amazon's still there.
Yeah, Amazon
no
has
one
failed. They're
cares.
just not getting to
Google,
where they want to be.
Like Google, quote unquote, tried but shut down because they realized it was a much bigger business than anticipated. I feel like Apple can legitimately beat an opponent in the ring if they actually try, and showing that they're putting full-blown real games, not baby bitch mobile games on their platform. Like, I think that they can be a real enemy, especially to Xbox.
Well,
and
you
I think
also
PlayStation, they could be like how PlayStation took out Sega, Apple could take out PlayStation. You never know.
well, I don't think the console market is going to change because the console market is not necessarily going to be the people who go play it on their phone.
You're still
So
going to want
PlayStation is
to.
still going to survive on the console
Yeah.
market that exists. But I mean, what version
I mean,
of it is
until
the question.
Apple makes a new console.
Well, they won't make a console because then that defeats the purpose,
I
right?
think what Apple is going
wants
to do, they're
get
going to
the
use their
people.
Apple TV, and you're going to go ahead and be able to play right from your Apple TV.
Well, they'll sell those, but they don't sell the same amount, right? So that's not the real that's not the real game. It's only the phone. The phone is the only thing that they want to mobilize. They want to mobilize their users who already buy the phone year in, year out. And that's the way they do it. Everything else is just extra. If they put it on your Apple TV, there's only a small number of people who are going to buy it for the Apple TV to do it.
If you're playing on your phone and you can transfer it, like you can say, okay, let me go ahead and connect it to my Apple TV and continue to play. And now I have my big screen, right?
Well, you could do that with AirPlay, and you don't need
okay, well,
another
there
thing
you
to
go.
buy.
Even easier. Then your cake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So yes, in that case, then that's fine. But the phone is the key, and there's no reason for them to to go into a different market to try to do it. They don't need to. They already have 200 million people who are going to be able to buy a game from them if they ever decide to do it. And you also, maybe Google wasn't as stupid as we thought. Maybe they looked at the situation with the cloud gaming and all that stuff and realized, you know what? We're not going to make that return. And you know what? We know that phones are getting to the point where we're going to be able to put console games on phones. Google's in the same boat.
Listen, they did
I mean,
what
the Google
Jim Ryan
Pixel,
could
they
not
do
do.
make-
They saw the situation and they ran.
They made adjustments,
Yeah.
right? They left the market that they weren't going to lose in anyway. Like, it was already done, so they weren't going to win. So they left that. And again, seeing the roadmap that we're on now when it comes to mobile technology, again, Apple's the one who's like leading it right now in this respect, because it's kind of like a closed ecosystem. But Android will eventually be able to do the same thing. You
Yeah.
don't think Samsung is going to be prepping their
Of course.
next version with another company who's making a game for their phones?
Yep.
Like, this is going to be a battle that's going to spill out into the mobile world, and it's going to be crazy to
Yep.
watch.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
It really is.
Do you remember
Sean T
when?
s- Go ahead.
No, so you can go first.
I'm just reading. Sean T says, in 5 years, the console market will look completely different. Handheld gaming is coming in fast and furious.
Yeah, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way you're talking about this, because it is acceptance. Like, it's happening. You can't stop it, right? Accept it and just understand how easy access you have when you go ahead and you have these handhelds, or you can play on your phone. You may be hesitant in the beginning, and then you're like, oh, you know what? Let me try this one because I really like this game. And then you're right on board with everybody else.
Agreed. 100%. John says, being the monster Sony is with the PlayStation, imagine being Jim having to rent your platform's favorite in COD from the arch enemy. 100%. It'd be like Xbox renting Halo from Sony and Jim Ryan.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's true. Jonathan Dark says, Jim Ryan is going to be restocking gift cards at Home Depot, and he's going to see the COD Game Pass card. He's just gonna
Wow.
losing shit in the aisle. He goes, oh, just start ripping them up.
Ripping his
Oh my
hair
god!
out.
Breaking
Yeah,
news.
I
An
see
old man has
that.
been
I
arrested
see
today
that.
for destroying a cop.
Absolutely. John says Xbox
God.
about to
Hey, man, that's a-
dominate for sure. Absolutely.
I feel that.
G maybe says, JD, hello. I could see it now. Jim getting fired again from Home Depot for hiding those cards. That's hilarious.
Jim
Oh
has hit
my
a new
God.
low.
He really
Just
has,
when we
dude.
thought the train has stopped, this is crazy. This is a gift that keeps on giving. We will never forget 2023 as the year that it was like, expect the unexpected, and it just keeps on coming.
Again, agreed 100%. Ham says that's a doable take, in my opinion. Yeah, it really is. It's gonna be crazy what we're gonna see out there that we're not expecting.
Yeah.
JD says Nintendo coming hard with the Switch too. Let's see. I feel
Listen,
like they are. I
okay,
feel like they're also in the same market where they're looking at it saying we need to compete with phones.
Nintendo is coming hard with that Switch
Hard.
too. But they're also coming really, really hard with that 10-year deal that they have with freaking Xbox.
They're getting Call of Duty, baby.
They're getting Call of Duty. They're getting a lot, and we're just gonna get it.
They got a
Keep
better
it
deal than
coming.
Sony.
A lot of calls, just so many duties.
Void Rap says all Souls type games drive me insane. That's why I didn't buy Elden Ring. My idea of a fun game isn't yelling and smashing my controller. I feel that. I feel
see it.
that. Joanna Dark says Sony needs to remember who they were and celebrate their heritage.
Yes,
Bring back
baby.
believed
Say
IPs
it.
and stop being a walled garden.
Yes.
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 That's 100% what needs to happen. And that's why, as much as people are afraid of it, I feel like Japan should get in there a little more. Let's start reining it back.
Yeah.
Let's bring back some of those studios that were closed, or not those identical ones, but let's bring back those ideas. Let's get quirky. Let's have fun takes on different types of games.
They
and not
are
just the
so
same shit.
uptight. Loosen up. Give us what we want.
Absolutely. Got Bunty back. Welcome. I don't know how to say
Welcome.
that. Wagwan.
Let's
Feel
go.
Void Rap says Forza is so close. Hope the career mode is better than 7. Well, it's definitely a different. It's definitely a different career mode. Eric says Apple owning Sony would be bad for the entire industry. Well, I mean, depends on what way.
Yeah.
I'll let you expound on that. Tell me why. Why would it be bad? So I can kind of see that side, because I have a problem trying to see how it would hurt.
I believe, and I don't know if that's what he's referring to. I believe that he means like they're gonna run it. I feel like if they don't, like,
I don't think so.
everybody
I feel
needs
like
to
they would just.
everybody needs to jump in.
I
Like
feel like
they're
they won't.
leveled.
I feel like they were. Apple is humongous.
Mhm.
I feel like Apple, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to taint the PlayStation brand. They're just going to be the money for it, and they're going to use the IP that Sony owns to help move dollars in the mobile space.
What
But
this
they're
is,
not going to damage.
I don't think they're gonna damage
Sony.
it at all. I think what they're gonna do is elevate each other. That's as far as it's gonna go. But what I'm talking about is, again, when we heard about the phones, right? We were like, okay, this is the beast that Phil Spencer has been talking about, that he's preparing for,
Yep.
right? He wasn't talking about Sony. He's not, he's trying, he's not talking about PlayStation. He was getting ready for this and to see how they can fight against it.
Yeah, that's 100% what happened. And again, Phil Spencer, when this is all said and done, right? When he's old and gray and he's ready to step down, his legacy
Oh my
is
God.
going to be
Yeah.
the one that we will always remember.
Yep.
No one did more than him outside of starting the brand, right? But once the brand was started, taking it to the next level, nobody. Game Pass is forever the game changer in life. Right?
Agree.
So John says trouble with PlayStation was that they thought exclusive would last forever. Facts. They were not prepared, man. They were not. JD says, bring back Legend of Dragoon, SOCOM. Oh God, please, SOCOM. Please.
Those were the
Infamous,
days.
Siren, Siphon Filter. Yes, do it, bro.
Yeah, they need
It's
to get in
so
there. They need to
dumb.
give us more.
It's so
A
dumb.
lot
Yes.
more.
Horizon Forbidden West is sleepy.
Oh my
juice.
gosh, seriously,
Yes,
I've
it
never seen a
really is.
protagonist with such little charisma, especially from PlayStation.
Shit.
It's a freaking snooze, bro.
Jacob, be
So
easy,
bland.
Feels like-
man.
Have
I
a
didn't
great
see this
night,
before,
baby.
Have a
but
good
thank you
night.
for coming. I know it was late as shit where you
Yeah.
were, man.
It
so
feels
I
like
appreciate you
Horizon's like
doing
that
it.
franchise that they keep shoving down people's throats violently, yet people are like, but you could just, make
So
something
this is the
else.
thing. Like I've played Horizon, and both times I played it a little bit in the beginning, and then I came back like a year later and really kind of gave it a shot. And I mean, it's a fine game. I think the cast of Horizon Forbidden West is the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
They're talented people, but Aloy, you just need to change her demeanor. She's like, I'm not. It's not.
Okay.
Like she's just like,
All right.
Like she has no excitement for what she's doing, and
You
she
don't
doesn't
feel like
have,
you're gonna go and
brains.
kick some ass and like be that character. Like if my character is like doesn't want to go ahead and do what we're supposed to be doing, then why would I? Like you're
Agreed.
supposed to pump me up. Be like,
Agreed.
yo, we're badasses. We're about to go handle
Agreed.
some shit.
I mean,
You're not getting that
not
from-
knowing games, sitting there like, I guess this is a good game.
Yeah.
Let's make another one. And let's make a VR version, and let's make a multiplayer version. Like, get the fuck out of here! Like,
We don't
dude,
want
like,
this shit.
This shit could barely sustain as it is. What is wrong with you? John says they relied far too much on exclusives. Yes. Well, I mean, especially like third-party exclusives.
Yeah.
They really went in.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah,
They're
they
relying on
thought they were
other
there.
people outside of their own circle.
Yep, absolutely. JD says Phil took Jim's girl and Call of Duty and told him, I will still let you be her friend.
Yo,
Damn.
that was
my
good.
You know what's funny?
That
I
was
love how people
good.
complain that Xbox doesn't really make their own games. They just buy everyone. They just rich, so that's what they do. But PlayStation just buys the rights or exclusivity, even for a limited time, for Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7,
Yeah,
Spider-Man
I agree
at
with
one
that,
point.
Madman.
And it's like, geez, like you don't want to look at him who's clearly doing the same crime.
Yeah,
Just
I
less
like
rich.
your point. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same difference. It's just different pocketbooks.
Yep.
Right. Sony's only doing what their pockets allow. This is not. Don't let them trick you into thinking that we grow organically. You grow organically because you can't do it. That's
Bullshit.
like
They're the
people
ones that
who
keep fighting
only
for these
eat.
exclusives
Listen,
and all this crap. Do not go to Xbox. Those were like, that's literally the
yeah, they're
approach that
using
they
their
take.
size. They're using their size to bully the people to not do
Yeah.
it, right? But again, they only grow what they can because they can't afford to buy. And when they do buy, it's small, tiny crap that is within their reach. They can't afford to take place and take part in the bidding for a publisher. They can't, dude. They can't
If
unless they
they
get
were,
outside help.
if they had the money to go out there and buy everything and do what, Philly did, they would. There's no way.
Dude, it's crazy. Man, I'm looking at the screen because this is Xbox's showcase, and like Payday 3, like that just came out in Game Pass. I'm still playing Starfield. There's like so many games that are out right now in Game Pass that I need to eventually play.
Yeah.
And it's like I ain't got the time. Like I'm still playing Starfield. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. She maybe says if Apple buys PlayStation, does that mean their PC strategy changes to Mac only? No. It does not, because Apple has already made the shift and accepts that they're better off when their things are on more platforms. So that's why you can have iTunes on your Windows PC.
Yeah.
The music, their Apple Music is on there.
Yeah. They used to keep that real
All their
tight.
things, iCloud, you can log right in and use the same filing system. I use it all the time on the PC. So no, they've gone away from that. The only place that it also because the Mac is not dominating, right? And gaming is not going to make the Mac dominant, right? So it would be a silly thing for them to do. But the phones is where they'll do it. The phones is where they'll make exclusive iPhone games that don't go to Android for sure, because they already do that. They do that right now in Apple Arcade. They're not making the games, but they buy exclusivity from a lot of those games. So no. Void Rap says price to power. I don't understand why anyone buys Apple products, pretty looking things with no substance, like my ex-wife. Damn.
Shit.
Oh shit. I wish I had like a
Yeah,
or
she's
some-
somewhere
that wasn't even
crying right
directed
I need
towards
to get
now.
me,
like
and
a
I felt
soundboard.
You
that.
don't know why.
I gotta get one of those
Yeah.
things because that was rough.
That was
Apple is an exclusionary, exploitative company. Okay. So I mean, my experience with them is that the only exclusives, I don't even know what's exclusive about it anymore. I mean, I think if there's apps made for them, I think it's the same reason why some people made PlayStation exclusive games without having a deal,
Yeah.
because they just prefer to make it there and they like that system, or more users are there. I mean, let's be real. There's more users on an iPhone than any given phone. And all those different Android phones have to be, it's not like PlayStation Stack. You have to make sure it's going to run on all those different variations.
Yeah.
Did I say PlayStation Stack? I meant
Yeah.
Apple Stack. It's not like Apple Stack where all the old phones are just going to work because of the way that their software is built out. Um, I don't know. Like we just explained, right? Like they brought everything to Windows. So every software piece, numbers, program, all their stuff is available everywhere. So I don't know what is exclusionary about them now currently. Um so I would ask if you can go deeper to give me more of an understanding, and I'm not being facetious. I really want to kind of see it from that side. Um John says most beautiful thing for me about Xbox is a kid only needs a tablet and a controller to play Game Pass anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Facts, which we do know that most kids nowadays are all about their tablets. I mean, we have 6, and a lot of them, the younger ones especially, just they live on their
They
tablets.
freaking love it. It's
They
crazy.
really do, and it comes so natural to them. Like
Mhm.
you didn't have to teach them. You know
Nope.
what I'm saying? You just give it to them, and they know. It's crazy.
It is that smart.
Yeah, they really are. G maybe says if Apple bought Sony, Apple TV could become native to Sony's smart TVs, just like MS did with Samsung. Absolutely. There's a
Ooh.
lot of integration that could happen.
Yeah.
Sony's a hardware company. It would
That's
be
true. Yep.
easy for Apple to kind of take advantage of that and use some of that hardware capability that Sony has to even help with some other things. You know, maybe Sony's the one who makes the stuff instead of where they send it in. You know, I don't even know TSMC. I don't know, some one of those places. Void Rap says, doesn't really matter. Jim's severance pay will be more cash than we will ever see in a lifetime.
Oh
He's
my gosh,
smiling,
this is
whatever.
so true. This
That's
is
the bitch
so
about it. You know what I'm saying?
true.
It's like
It's-
we're laughing that he's gone and he's laughing to the bank. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Which I'd rather be on his side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But you know, that's fine. Ham says, pause. I can only imagine what Doodle
Oh my
said
Doodle,
to deserve that pause. Yeah.
you trying to put this on me?
Yeah, for sure.
It's always on me. It's all right.
John says, for sure, Doodle,
Pause.
bro. Exciting
Hold
time.
on.
Always on me. Look, yeah, you see? Pause. You see? You do
I
this?
deserve it back.
Always.
I deserve it
Always.
back.
Yeah, I'm
My
gonna
bad.
use Ham's pause right there. Pause. God damn
Leave
it.
that up.
Yeah, just leave it there always. Joanna Dark says, CMoney, I beat Liza P, bro.
Nice.
I haven't even
Was
started
it good?
I hope it was good. I don't know. It looks good. It got great reviews. Oh, snap. Ham says, bring back PlayStation Underground energy.
Let's
yes. Yo, I used to get those discs. PlayStation Underground. You put it in, you got some demos. Oh my God, that was so dope. Yo, Ham, facts. Void Rat says, I only have one wish in gaming. Bring back Legacy of Kain. That was a good game. And I think when it came out, I was not
Ready for it?
prepared for that game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't like my type of game at the time where I feel like if I was playing him now, I would love it.
You've grown so much as a gamer, by the way.
I think so.
You've evolved.
You know, I think time does that to you. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just old now. So John says I could see the pimp with a smoking jacket and pipe. I feel that. Joanna Dark says if you replace alloy with a piece of cardboard, you wouldn't notice it. Damn.
Shit.
Stop.
Damn.
It was so good.
All right, that was pretty cool.
Eric says if you next Horizon game, they're gonna make Aloy look like Lizzo. That would take so much computational power to make that happen properly. I would be impressed if they can do that. It would be more interesting for her to look like Lizzo than what she looks like right now.
Damn.
For sure. Oh my God. Void Rap says he's on a break from Starfield. Damn, son.
Good. You got to go at your own pace with this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing. Bunty says only reason why I don't purchase an iPhone because it never changes the style. That is true.
It's the camera that changes a lot.
The
like
camera. I mean, they did this year. They changed the body to titanium.
Yeah.
It's a much lighter phone. So they have made small changes, but it's not like you're right. It's not dramatic.
Yeah.
Like they don't go and do anything.
Yeah, nothing outstanding. Nothing like. Oh my God, look at that. They sell the crap out of it though, because that advertisement is sexy as fudge.
Nobody markets like they do. That's just the fact.
I'm like, I don't want the new phone. I want the new phone.
John says the OS in the iPhone has always been dope though. Yeah, I mean it's very streamlined, right? Like it just works and they add things in a way that it kind of ends up working better. Joanna Dark says Liza P was incredible.
Nice.
Eric says Xbox is acting like Mormon and wifing every girl. Sony paying for prostitutes. Damn.
Yo,
damn.
Holy crap, that was good.
Damn.
I like that.
Damn,
I like that.
That was bars right there.
That was good. That was really good.
It was really good.
All right. Respect.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, that's definitely obviously, we looking at it from this angle, and it is really trying to kind of see what's going on, right? Because we don't know what's happening, right? We don't know the reality of what's happening. We know Jim is out. We know they're putting, someone who's, has ties to the main corporation of Sony and have him running it for now, right? And again, with the possibility of there being a buyout from one of the big players that's on the table, I don't think anybody can look at this and be like that's not possible, right? Sony is very small. So I don't see that as not being a possibility. But also, like, what does this mean for their games as a service games that they're making? They have like 10 or 12 games that they're supposedly making.
Yeah.
Like, is this a we're getting out of that mindset? Like, we're getting out of that game, right? Like, are we saying, you know what, let's cut our losses? They already shut down one of them, right? That they were making, right? Factions got shut down. That's another one. Like, what do you guys think? Madman, Doodle, do you feel like this is going to affect the path that they're on right now? Do you think that this is going to stop them from wanting to go further into the games as a service? And are they going to double down on their main games and maybe look at mobile games? Or is this going to exasperate it and make it even more where they go deeper into games as a service, try to figure out how to bring it all to mobile? I mean, where do you
I
guys sit
feel
with
like
the
if they're
idea?
gonna go into those games, they need to like, dude, why start with 12? Kind of like we don't know what we're doing. We're hoping someone likes one of them or that people enjoy one of them, and then we have a hit. It was very desperate. If you're gonna go in, you have to figure out what you want to do and start with 1 or 2 games and see what that does. Like, you really have to commit to it. Like, why give us 10 or 12 and like most of them are trash? Just focus on making something really good rather than trying to figure us out, right? And
Agreed.
listen, I hope that they're coming in to go ahead and like clean everything up. To let's go, yes, let's expand, let's make different games, let's go ahead and do new things, and let's get back to those studios and make the games we were making because some of them were really, really good, and we need those back, right?
I
I
agree.
I don't know. I'm part of me fell, and I know you went. Actually, you should go to Madman because I was gonna branch out on something else.
All right.
But
Well, yeah. So I do think that the lives as a service game, like you don't see Xbox doing that a ton, other than like the Halo multiplayer, and I'm sure there'll be other
Well,
endeavors
they're
in the
they're
future.
actually they actually are really deep into that. 100%, because you got to remember you have Sea of Thieves,
I forgot about that game.
you have Grounded,
Also forgot about that game.
you have Horizon 5,
Also forgot about the game.
and they're making Forza Motorsport, which is also going to be a platform that lives on.
All right.
Um,
Yeah, I could see the
and
idea
State
here.
of Decay, dude, State of Decay just got a big ass update, and that game is from what, 2017? When the hell did State
Roughly.
of
I don't
Decay
even
2 come
remember
out?
100%. 17 or 18. I'll look it
Yeah,
up.
and it's still getting support. So, uh, as opposed to PlayStation, which is saying we're gonna make 12 games and just throw them at you, and if they
yeah,
pop, great. If
see
they
what
don't pop, it's
happens.
done.
2018.
What, 2019?
18.
8, yeah. So, and as opposed to just throwing a bunch of shit against the wall and seeing what sticks, Xbox went ahead and they had people who had a passion. They didn't mandate this stuff.
Yeah,
People who had a passion. They wanted to make these games,
Oh
and
shit,
then
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76, yeah, they own that now. Elder Scrolls Online,
Yeah.
they own that now, right? So they have a passion and they let them do them. And they not only let them do it, but they give them the time after the fact to listen to feedback from the community,
yeah.
make changes, make things better, and grow them. Dude, these games have more players than God of War.
The question
Wow, that's
is,
embarrassing.
can they go ahead and handle it the same way? Listen to the feedback. Go ahead and fix things that, because we know how PlayStation has been doing things, right? Are they going to change everything? Are they going to be able to communicate with, their gamers? Are they going to be able to listen and work and have the budget to go ahead and be able to fix the
Void Rap,
things that
thank you
need
so much for
fixing?
stopping by, my man.
Have a
Thanks,
great
Appreciate
night,
it,
bro.
love.
brother.
Like,
Thank you
are
so
they
much.
going to be able to go ahead and do that?
I mean, they can, but will they?
That's the
Right?
question,
That's
right?
the
Because then it
question.
makes no damn sense. Like, why even invest in that if you're not gonna go full in? And then why would we as consumers want to go ahead and buy anything like that when we know how shady you are? We can't reach you. You don't talk back. It's a one-sided conversation.
It's true. It's true. Now, are they going to change that? So let's look at this, right? The latest state of play that we got. Obviously, Jimmy wasn't there.
He was not.
He
That
was
was the
already on
first
his
step to
way
cleaning
out,
the house.
right?
Yes.
So we knew that, but they did replace him with a woman who was much more likable, approachable, right?
Yes.
Now, the question is she going to be
The new
out
face.
on socials,
Yes.
right? Like, is she going to be interacting with the people? Is she going to be interacting with the fans? Or is this going to just stay the same way where it's like this one-way street where, yeah, she's a nicer, person or easier face and more approachable, but she's still only talking to us, never having us talk back, right? Or are they going to turn a new leaf and realize that, they got to look at what Xbox been doing for years,
Mhm.
bro, which is they're in the streets, right? They go ahead and they give codes to like these smaller channels that are, I mean, they're big, but they're small in the scope. They don't have millions and millions of subscribers, but they still give it to them. They come on podcasts, right? Like they do, like they interact with their people. Hell,
Yes.
Phil Spencer has been on shows twice where he was scheduled to go on a show and some horrible shit happened and he didn't back out of it. And he just went on the show and took it like a man,
Yeah.
which was delaying Halo Infinite from the Xbox Series launch and the Redfall situation.
Yep.
Redfall came out, shit the bed, and all of a sudden, he was going to be on the show and he took it, and he took it like a man. What he didn't do is he didn't run away. He didn't say, "I'm gonna retire now because things are scary and things
Little
don't look
swoop.
good," right? And he gave us that reassurance. That's what ultimately I feel is the biggest issue with everything that's happening on Sony's side right now. They're not reassuring me on my purchase of a PlayStation.
No.
I don't feel safe with the idea of a PlayStation. It's just making me, it's just a wasted fucking system that I have there because they're not, you know, Ryan running away makes me feel like shit. The fact that we don't have a roadmap and then he's leaving, like
This is bad.
this is not good news.
Yes, it's not. And the way you breaking it down, yes, I understand that. Are they going ahead and trying to change things again? They had the showcase. They had someone else in there, right? Okay, now Jimmy's out. Someone else is coming in. What's next? Are you going to tell us what you're working on? Are you going to, share with us the moves that you're making? Like, aside from hearing Jim saying that he's out, we need more from them. So if we don't hear more, then there's still the same PlayStation we've been dealing with, which leads to believe that Jim left because the ship is sinking, right?
Yep.
Because my other outlook with this entire situation was, okay, so let's go back to Jim, right? Things have not been looking so pretty, right? We don't have games that are being made. We don't know about anything that's happening, right?
Yep.
Now, Jim was acting very out of character this entire year, or maybe he was just showing us his character, right? But
Right.
normally he's very chill, very out of it, And this year he's gone bonkers. He's put into emails things that, in writing, things that he should not, like he should know better. He should be making a phone call for that type of conversation, right? Or
Agreed.
face to face for that type of conversation in case somebody tries to freaking record your ass, right?
Mhm.
So he was very loose with the moves that he made, right? And very loose with the way that he spoke. What is making Jim act this desperate? Is it that they said, listen, this is the last straw. If this ABK deal goes through, then you're done and you're fired. Is that why he was out there acting the way that he was? Losing it the way that he was losing it?
You got a
Because his
point.
job was on the line,
That is very true.
You got a
right?
point. You
So
got
when
a
you
point.
think about it, maybe that's what they gave him. They said, this is it. This is it. This goes through and you're out. I'm just wondering if that's the other side.
It could very well be. And, it would give at least a little bit of explanation why he was
Yes.
so ready to like snitch and
Yeah.
like make himself look like a fool.
That's the problem. How do you go ahead and like think of yourself, right? Your back's against the wall. Like, what do? He was desperate. He was throwing his own team, like everyone, under the bus. He was shouting, I don't want the merger to happen. Like, I want to stop this deal, whatever the heck he said. He was he was doing everything in his power to make this stop, right?
Yep.
Now they were giving him a deal, a pretty sweet one, but he got on his high horse and he was demanding from Phil what was going to take place. And again, Philly
100%.
was like, nah, baby boy, it ain't like that no more. You know? So good for Phil.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying,
Sure.
it was a lot of crazy things we saw. It was like when you're watching reality TV, right? And you're like, damn, I can't believe that happened. But that's why I watch it. You know what I mean? So
100%.
it got crazy.
It really did. Man.
Huh?
Do you think that Jimmy Boy was acting so irrational because his job was on the line?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that it happened because of how shitty he was doing, but I don't think that they were like, listen, buddy, you're gonna get fired if you don't do something about this. Because, they did say he left. But I don't know. I don't
He's
see
retiring.
He's retiring, but you
just to be clear, before we got the official word that he was retiring, okay, Jason Schreier put out a tweet that said, breaking news, Jim Ryan is stepping down. It was not retiring, it was stepping down. Retiring is clearly just the terminology that they're using to make it a more easy go and not worry about like the criticism or people talking crap about it. It's almost like, remember when 343 was going through it,
Mhm.
and everyone didn't like 343.
Bonnie Ross was the person who ran it, and she said, well, I'm gonna retire. I don't know if she said retire, but she was gonna step away because of family and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden they had new people ready to go. A whole bunch of stuff was coming up. It's like, bro, you did not just retire for any of those reasons. You were told to go, and they're allowing you to leave gracefully.
99% of the time, they're being told what to do. You're out. Go ahead, read this, and you're done. What are you gonna do? Make a scene so that then they don't give you the rest of your money? That's the thing. We're talking about people that are under contract, right?
Yeah,
and they're like, okay, this is it. We're done with you. You're gonna get the rest of your money or whatever the freaking payout that they have for breaching the breach of contract, right? And then it's like, okay, but now if I act crazy or not do what they told me to do, then I lose that money. I can only assume.
Yeah, I can imagine them literally like going into his like Jim Ryan's office. Like, oh, where is he? And it has like his chair and it says gone fishing or something like that. And you just never heard from him since. I don't know. I mean, I think that he probably just got scared of the competition and he had a lot of pressure for the future of PlayStation, recovering from the lack of Call of Duty. And I think he probably just left. I don't think that they had a warning and he was scrambling to end the deal because, it was over. Because, I don't know. I don't believe.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, are we going to miss Jimmy?
No.
Fuck no.
No. Not a shot. Not a shot. But what's going to come? That's the bigger question.
That's
that I
the
think if you're a
question.
PlayStation only fan, or if you're like us who have PlayStation and you're definitely interested to see what's your box is going to be used for, I would be I'm concerned. I don't know what's going to happen. G maybe says retiring may be one of the choices he was given. Agreed. John says Jim Ryan said, fuck this, I'm going fishing. Yep. G maybe says King David has been saying it in regards to Jim. Snitches get stitches. This is definitely a stitch.
Yeah.
Maybe more than just a snitch.
Eric says Sony said, hey Jimmy, Phil has a roadmap to 2030. Where's yours? Jim said,
I retired.
I'm too old for this.
Jim says, I retired.
Listen, that could have went down just like that.
That's hilarious.
That could have been
honestly, that
you
could
may be
have
onto
literally
something.
been it. Like they could have been like, yo, Jim, by Wednesday, we need to see that roadmap you have to 2030. I want to see how we compare. It's just like, how to put this in words? I fucking quit. Delete, delete, delete. I retire. I'm out. That's wild.
Listen,
Dude.
it's possible.
Yep. John says they can never really compete considering Xbox's resources. Exactly. Like, this is the thing, man. Again, they have the games, but they only have a few. You know what I'm saying? Like, gamers don't sustain on just those games alone. It's just the reality.
Yeah.
They're gonna play those games, sure, but they want other games. And if you can't give them a reason why they need to stay on PlayStation for that,
I mean, they got Roblox now.
they finally got Roblox after 48 million years.
It's only been, yep.
Maybe that'll start making them the money. There you go. You know what happened? Roblox was like, oh shit, Call of Duty is gonna be bought by Xbox. Maybe if we go to, to Sony, they'll love us.
Maybe.
And they'll give us the same. They probably got the same deal.
Right?
20%. 20% you guys keep, and they're gonna keep 80.
This was the time to strike. This is the time to strike. When it comes to PlayStation, they're really weak right now.
Absolutely, which is wild to think because they just came off of a banger ass generation.
Like, not just like a little bit, like a big banger, one of the highest, like the biggest consoles in the world sort of scenario.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jim maybe says Jim always starts shit and runs away. He's not a captain. He's not going down with the ship.
No,
exactly. He is a little business, and that's just the reality of it. Whew. Well, I think that was fun talking about Jim.
Yeah.
Yep,
He's
it was
the
a
gift
blast.
that keeps on giving.
The Slim Jim.
And again, obviously, Phil and the team all started wishing him well, and
Man,
good job on 30 years.
I wish I was there. I wish I could have seen this play out when they're sending out these messages. What's happening in that room? You know what I mean? That had to be crazy. If we are feeling this way, I can't even imagine how they took the freaking news.
100% agreed. Also, I completely forgot. I don't know how this may link together.
Okay.
But it's still Sony related, so I'm going to bring it up. So I guess there's this place called Gaming Heads.
Okay.
Where they do like statues and shit. And they have a bunch of PlayStation like statues that they were making and sending out to people who bought them.
Okay.
And Sony ordered them to destroy everything.
What?
Not only destroy it, but the people who bought it and paid can't send it to them. Gotta destroy it.
What?
Jesus.
Yep. Meanwhile,
wait, are they getting their money back?
Not from what this sounds like.
Oh, holy crap.
Well, yeah, they did they sent a whole thing out, like this long ass letter to all the people.
Holy, what in the hell is going on over there, dude?
Yeah.
They're losing their freaking mind.
Yep. So they said that they want to ship out all the statues, but Sony PlayStation does not allow it. And they already received a royalty payment for all the statues that were purchased.
Get the hell out of here.
Gaming Heads is like, yo, I'm not going to give you your money back because we already paid Sony.
Yeah.
So if you have a beef,
holy
you go
crap.
to Sony.
Damn.
That's wild. He says that we sincerely apologize if you find yourself in this completely avoidable situation, but please contact Judy Ward, Commercial Partnerships, Sony Interactive Entertainment at judy.ward@sony.com.
This sounds fishy to me, though. Didn't they have like a breach going on? Like they went ahead and they.
Well, we're gonna jump into that.
Okay, so this is the crazy thing, right?
This is
you don't think that in some way, right? Because wouldn't the company that made these statues or figures, whatever it is that they made, if they gave Sony the money, don't they realize that maybe people can sue them for not sending the product? And maybe shouldn't they be going after Sony somehow? Like, is this a way to just cheat people out of money? Maybe they didn't make the crap. Like, I would want pictures of these broken.
There's a letter right here. And they're not going to like the company Gaming Heads is not gonna just say this shit. Like this, there's no way.
Dude, I'm gonna
Like, it
need
makes
a
no
lot
sense.
more
This
proof
is
than
this
this
is so
fucking
but
writing.
there's nothing to prove.
Get the
The
hell
proof
outta
is
here.
that they're willing to go ahead and name names in an email
This
that's
is
public. That's how you
crazy.
know it's true.
I can't even imagine something like this
No,
going
they
down.
literally said this is the team at Sony PlayStation that requires the destruction of the items you have ordered,
Holy
paid
crap.
for, and on which Sony PlayStation has already received royalties from you, but will now not allow us to ship your orders to
Okay, so
you.
this is the thing. No answer from Sony, right? And this is the problem that we have. This is the big issue.
They said here, we remember Sony PlayStation's old tagline that they are for the players. But given their recent decision that they know adversely affects those in the collecting community willing to spend more on Sony PlayStation merchandise than an actual console, we are now not so sure.
Holy crap.
Yep. That's crazy. These are dope looking statues too.
Yeah.
I saw
Man.
that. I was like, shit. Whoever has one, that's just about to be really valuable.
Yeah, right? Can you imagine if they ship some out, like, and some people
Yep.
actually
Unless they
got
never got any shipments out and they just took like
That's what
pre-orders.
I want. Like,
and then
okay, you're saying this, you're calling out names. Put some pictures in there of the inventory of the statues that were made or the merch that was made. Go ahead, take the freaking pictures.
I mean, they show pictures of the products.
Yes, but they're showing the products individually. Show me your freaking warehouse. Show me that these things were made. Show me that they're sitting there and they want you to destroy it.
Well,
you can't just
I
say
think,
shit.
I think they can in this respect because again, they're literally calling out. Not that it's okay if you're a person who paid for that statue. I'm gonna go in, right?
Live
Like,
Supremacy says for the payers. Yes.
For the payers. Nice.
Facts. If I was the payer who paid for one of these statues and they're trying to tell me that I'm not gonna get a refund because Sony already got their money and they're doing,
lose my shit. Yep.
Go ham.
Call your credit card companies. Get your money back.
That's the way. That's why you do it smart. You got to have a good credit card company and then tell them what happened. Eric says, if you thought it was hard to refund the game from Sony, have fun trying to get a refund on one of those statues.
Yep. Seriously.
Bunty says, and what happened to me? That's why I'll never. That's what happened to him, and that's why he'll never buy a PlayStation. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Good. It's not worth it. It collects dust. So crappy.
Yeah, save your
Brandon,
money.
welcome, my man.
You don't have games.
He says,
hello, welcome.
Yes. So that was wild for me to hear.
That's crazy. Okay, so this is also like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys just out? Are you guys done?
No, they have other things. They don't only sell PlayStation stuff.
No, I'm sorry. PlayStation. Destroy them? Like, what's happening here?
I wonder who's gonna listen. Like, oh, okay.
Let me get a bat real quick. Hold
up.
up.
Like, all right, who's got that job?
Yeah, I know.
Like, here
destroy
you go, man.
it.
Why would I destroy it? I would just take it.
Yeah, right.
Right. I'll just
sell them on the side.
On the side, bro. Fuck that.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild. Say, hey, we came in the next day and they were all gone.
Yeah.
And all of our cameras don't work. Because we couldn't pay because we paid you the royalties first before we collected the cash.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. So real quick too, I'm gonna go back because I never actually said the exact verbiage and his exact excuse for Jim Ryan.
Yes.
So he said, I was spending 2 weeks in California, a week in Tokyo, and a week in London every month. It was really difficult. It sounds great, but I live my life in a fog of jet lag, grumpiness, and disorientation. This sounds like somebody who's really trying to sell this shit.
Seriously.
Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? You got to fly first class to every one of these places.
Yep. Stay at a dope ass place,
lavish hotels,
chilling.
You were banking so hard.
Yep.
Stop.
Get the hell out of here with that crap.
Okay. Cut it out.
Yep.
Like, you did this for 30 years. and now it's becoming too difficult. Come on, man. They're on that bullshit. But yeah, I saw that and that was wild. Yeah, so basically so that guy taking over, Hiroki Totoki, he's the president, COO, and CFO.
Nice.
And he's representative corporate executive office. So he's second to only the first guy, which is Kenichiro Yoshida, who's the chairman and CEO. So this guy, this is they have something to say. I will work Hiroki says, I will work with Jim and the senior management team closely to ensure our continued success and further growth. I am also looking forward to creating the exciting future of PlayStation and the game industry together with everyone at SIE and his business partners. That doesn't sound like somebody who's coming in for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Homie sounds like somebody who's like, oh, I'm going to be doing this.
Yeah, like he's just
You gonna know
transitioning
me.
into that job. That's
You're
what it
gonna
sounds
know
like.
me for sure. John says Sony fans have become accustomed to see a certain standard and being the pinnacle in gaming. Folks got far too cozy. That's going to be, I think that's the hardest pill for them to swallow. That's why they're all spiraling out of control. They're turning on each other. Like they're going ham out in these streets. Not ham like ham, but they're going ham out in these streets. G maybe says, Sony, thank you for your purchase to receive your item. Please send an additional $40 for eventual shipping.
Eventually shipping. Son of a gun.
Bunty says, I bought a game and they charged me twice for the game and won't give me my money back.
Get the hell out of here.
Wow. That's wild. Live Supremacy says, it was a woman on Twitter complaining about a PlayStation refund and they got the bank to refund them.
Yes.
Sony told them if they don't pay for the game again, they will be banned. Or they will ban her son's account.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to go to the credit card company. That's where you get your money back.
You see how
but yeah,
PlayStation trying to strong arm these people?
That's crazy because obviously, she wants her kid playing, and then, dude, that's so messed up.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Mark Cerny needs to summon the Kraken. Mark Cerny, I think he's laying low too. What's up, Paige? Welcome.
Baby, welcome.
Yeah, so that, I mean, honestly, I really don't think there's much else to say about this situation that we haven't already dove deep into. I will say though that I don't think we're gonna miss him.
No.
Because this next person who's taking over would have to be so bad.
So bad. I was thinking that has to be a bad motherfucker.
Bad.
Yep.
I just can't even conceive it.
Yep.
I can't conceive it. Like it makes no sense to me. There's even being the chance of it being that bad. All right, so we are done with the topic of the show. Now we're gonna move.
Let's go
to our gaming news block right after this.
Ooh.
All right. We're back. So listen, there's a lot of random shit that kind of just started popping off.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Right now. All right. Like really. Bunty, be easy, my man. Appreciate
Have a good night, love.
Good night, Bunty.
So I went ahead and as we're like getting ready to go live, there's so many things that started popping off. Like the world is falling apart.
Yeah.
Around gaming, and it's insane. So let's since it just kind of popped off, Epic Games, makers of Fortnite and buyers of what is the Mediatonic, the people who make Fall Guys. So you maybe be easy, brother. The people who make
good night, babe.
Fall Guys. And they also bought the people who make Rocket League. Okay. So this was all purchased by them, I believe, 2 years ago. So first of all, we know Fortnite prints money.
Yes,
right?
me too.
They've been going like crazy with it, and they've been having a lot of dope seasons coming out.
They
But
have, dude. I've been super into it, by the way.
yeah, they have. They really have. Like they've been doing really cool shit. But um I think it hasn't grown as much as they wanted. So Steven Sotillo says he has some information on what happened, right? So he says about 870 workers were laid off. Another 250 are exiting via divestiture of Bandcamp and spinoff of Super Awesome. So I guess these are different businesses that they own,
Yeah.
and they are getting rid of them. I guess somebody else is going to buy them, or they're just letting them be their own companies. So they're losing those people. And CEO Tim Sweeney blames slow Fortnite growth tied to user shift towards lower margin creator content. So basically, what he's saying is that Fortnite is killing itself because more people are playing the creator content that Fortnite allows you to make.
Okay.
So because of
Okay.
this, they had to let go all these people. But the bigger one is that they literally have let go the entire Mediatonic team. So the people who make Fall Guys,
Yes.
the whole team is gone.
That's crazy, dude. So what now?
We don't know. We just know that they're gone. And this is the thing. When I first
Heard?
saw this,
Yeah.
right? I remember back when they bought them, right? We looked at it like, oh, look at them, trying to take this team and kind of get into that same craze, right? Let's double down, right?
Yeah.
People love Fortnite. Now people love this game. So let's buy that. We'll go there. Let's get the other ones. Rocket League. Oh, they also own what's that cartoon one where you can stab people in the back?
Hmm.
Among Us.
Yes,
Yes,
that's Among Us.
yes. Oh, that's pretty big too.
Yeah, I think they bought them as well, if I'm not
All right.
100% mistaken. Um, but when when that was all happening, I kind of thought that Epic was basically like trying to buy up its competition,
Okay.
right? Like they looked at Fall Guys as competition to Fortnite because there are people playing Fall Guys. If they're playing Fall Guys,
That
they're not
makes
playing
sense.
Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Rocket League, right? That was a huge thing. And it's like, well, if you're playing Rocket League, you're not playing Fortnite. So it's like we want to make money off of all these places instead
Yeah.
of just our one game. And Among Us too, kind of like the same thing, right? Anything that kind of blew up in that way, they bought. So it seems like they did that to take them off the market and to be able to eventually close them.
Okay.
You know what I'm
To not
saying?
continue and not have that competition there. You know,
Exactly.
what do you feel about that, C?
I feel like that's pretty shady.
It's pretty gross, right? Like the
Yeah, it's pretty
idea of
shady.
feeling like you can go ahead and buy this and just take it out, right? Obviously, enough people. I love freaking Fall Guys. It's so fun. Like my kiddos love playing that too, and we play and we have a blast. So to have a company, so like you can't be that afraid of competition. The point of competition is so that we can keep on growing and elevate each other, right? Because we want to do better and give more, do right by the consumer. If you're buying out the competition because it's competition, then what are you going to give us, right? How are you going to challenge yourself? But
100%.
aside from that, it's not right. It's not fair for all these smaller companies to kind of get stomp on.
I mean, and I agree. Like it's definitely not fair, but to be fair, those people got mad money
They
to get
did.
bought. You know what I'm saying? So it's
So,
like, obviously they took the money and ran, right? Like they took the money and let that let that be, right? And just accept the fact that they were in this cycle and
yeah,
however long it lasted, it was going to last. Because I'm pretty sure the conversations on the back end were like, listen, just join us so we don't have to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let us buy you. We'll give you this money, and then boom, you're gonna go ahead and be part of our team. But they own their competition. It was smart. Those were the games that were competing against Fortnite. And you, unfortunately, when they own something like that, you know that at any moment they can feel like they want to just
Shut it
kill
down.
it. It's done.
Yeah.
John says, kids game. Hence the really young new Jim Ryan pushing mobile gaming down people's throats. Exactly, right? They're trying to follow the money, right? And that's a
listen,
big thing.
okay, Fortnite, obviously a lot more money comes in from that. And he makes a great point, right? With the younger kids, there was I don't know if you saw, and I don't know how real this is, but Fortnite, they're gonna have to pay back um a nice chunk of money because supposedly kids were it's too easy for kids to go ahead and click and buy things.
Yeah, that was a I think that was a long time ago.
So, well, I saw a new video of it with like a breakdown of how much and all this other crap
Yeah, I
that you
think they
might be
had to
getting.
pay
Yeah.
that. I
And
think
it's
they had to
like,
pay that. But
it's,
that's why they make it so easy to refund now. Like, they made a lot of changes to make it, where that doesn't
but
have to
I
happen.
feel like a lot more money. I'm speaking from like just my own household. Like a lot of money goes into Fortnite, but it's because of what they give you. As much as I enjoy like Fall Guy and as fun as it is, yeah, we'll get things here and there, but not the way that we go for freaking Fortnite.
Agreed.
So I don't know. It's a different experience. Definitely, you need a lot more money. I can see how these other games may not be bringing in as much, but it's just it's a really bad look when you need to buy the competition so that they don't compete with you because of fear.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Absolutely. John says, folks need to boss up for sure, Doodle.
Yeah, baby.
That's the trouble. Absolutely. Now, this is the thing. What's crazy is that in 2021, Fortnite got funding for $1 billion. So they they got investors and they collected $1 billion in investments in 2021.
Okay.
200 million of that was from Sony.
Oh wow.
Okay. Then in 2022, they got $2 billion of investment from investors. 1 billion from Sony and 1 billion from Lego.
Damn.
Holy crap.
All
So they
right.
made $3 billion in these past 2 years. But they had to go ahead and let these people go. Right.
So that sounds like excuses to me, see.
So
I feel like
people
they're banking. They're
so
making a
they
lot of
definitely are
freaking money.
banking, but I think their big goal is to keep getting these investments.
Yeah.
Right. Like get people giving them more and more money. And I think what's happening is they feel like if they go ahead and do like get rid of the weight, right? Like, and just kind of make themselves more lean, then maybe they'll be more attractive to potential investments so they can get more money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see that.
So I think that they're just greedy, right? And like it's also scary for them, right? Because this is the thing, man. This is another situation. Like they're big, but they're big off of one game.
That's very
If
true.
Fortnite goes away, their empire falls. Like that's why they
crumbles.
want these other smaller companies to make sure that they don't get it taken away from them.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, Fortnite is their bread and butter. They have nothing else. Epic stopped making other games for the most part, and their store is not big. Right?
They did like a Sony, a PlayStation situation, right? All their eggs are in that one basket, and if that doesn't rock anymore, you're screwed.
I agree. It has to be scary
Yeah,
because everything can change.
I get that.
And if you just go away, if Fortnite stops popping, you go away. And as much as we are like, man, so many people still play Fortnite, if that number's not growing, it's shrinking, right? And that scares them. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Listen, they keep
that's a
bringing in
risk.
characters the way that they've been doing lately because, you and MADMAN in from the beginning, but now we're to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
that they're bringing the characters that, like, Purple Berry and I love. So, we've been rocking. So, as long as they keep doing that and giving us those, like, dances and getting creative, I mean, we're gonna keep on paying for the stuff.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Of course, you're down for that.
Well, obviously.
Of course. Now, as far as these guys are concerned, it sucks. Hopefully, people move to where it's better for them and they don't end up in these bad situations. Um, but we're gonna move on. But before we do, I want to read Eric's here. He says, "You guys should try to get Oh No, It's Alex and his wife on for a show. That has to be ultimate entertainment with CMoney and Doodle." Well, that would be interesting for sure. I didn't know. Does he do shows with his wife? I have no idea. That would be interesting for the four of us to have a
Right?
to be on the show.
That'd be pretty dope.
Oh, for sure. That would be wild. All right. So this popped up, and this was just kind of like a head scratcher for everyone, but it's news. We got to talk about it. So the FTC is trying to make a comeback
Okay.
on this deal.
Oh,
Like they're
goodness.
trying to go ahead and revive it. So Bloomberg says the U.S. Federal Trade Commission is reviving its challenge against Microsoft Corp's $69 billion acquisition of video game company Activision Blizzard Inc., a move which may seek to unwind the deal after it closes. So basically, they're trying to set it up so that they can go ahead and come in after the deal's closed to try to stop the deal or try to break up the company. These people are crazy.
These people are upset. I don't
Like,
know what
creepily
the
obsessed.
agenda is over here or how this benefits them in any personal way, but this is, like, way above and beyond.
Like a little nuts.
Yeah, it's a little obsessive, and I think
Agreed.
that maybe we need to start investigating this, figuring out what the motive behind this entire situation is. They made a fool out of themselves in court.
I agree.
And you're still coming at it like if a judge found your reasoning ridiculous, like maybe there's something to that. Maybe we stop. Maybe we stop spending the taxpayers' money, right? Because it's not coming out of your wallet. So how about we ease up on that situation? And I don't know, go for a walk and take a break.
Take a breather, dog.
Shit, look at the clouds. Figure something out.
Go touch grass,
Go touch grass.
as they say.
Touch
Yes.
grass.
So this is the thing. We know that Lulu is Lulu Chang
Yes, that's our homie.
is our homie. She's always out in these streets.
Yes.
So I guess a lot of people were questioning her about this, obviously. So she went ahead and she says, in response to questions about this, we're focused on working with Microsoft toward closing. How the FTC uses limited taxpayer resources is their decision. Which is basically saying if the FTC wants to waste their money and the taxpayers' money to go ahead and keep going with this,
Yeah.
please do. But it doesn't change anything. We're still going to close.
And you know what's
It's
the
gonna
thing?
happen.
Maybe it would make a little bit of sense if they went ahead and there were results from this deal, right? Like, let's give it a year. Let's give it 2 years. Let's see how this is going to affect whatever it is that in your mind is going to be taking place here. And then come and challenge it. But let it freaking be. You lost. It's done. Give it a moment. It's frustrating.
It is.
And I think, though, I think the fact is, yes, maybe they can fight it or whatever, but I do think that they can come and it's a different approach that they can have. And they can essentially do this.
Agreed.
So that's where the
Definitely
problem
agree.
is. They're trying to find the loophole around their what? Embarrassment? And then potentially be even more embarrassed because they'll find a way to get you again because you didn't even give enough time for the deal to, like, process and be really done. And, like, let's see what came from it. Like at some point, you got to be like, damn, I'm acting Cocoa Puffs. I need a break.
Agreed 100%.
That's a lot. That's
Bro,
annoying.
They just need to stop. Live Supremacy says, I like Paragon game by Epic, but Epic canceled it. Yep. I remember that because they went all in on Fortnite.
Yeah.
They pretty much stopped doing anything else, which was asinine.
And he just bought up all the other like big viral
All their
games like
competition.
Rocket League and stuff like that. All
They
gone.
literally just bought their competition
Literally.
to try to keep relevant, which is wild.
I mean,
now
it succeeded kind of.
This is the thing. We already know that Microsoft is already making moves to this integration.
Yeah.
So at this point, we already know that the deal's going to go through because Microsoft already knows it and Activision already knows it. There's been two things that popped up. One, on the internet, people have found that if you look at, I forget which one, I think it's like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or Ghost or something like that.
Yeah.
That if you go ahead and try to buy it or whatever in some other, I don't know where it is, but if you do it, it tells you that this game is free in your subscription of Game Pass, but pay this amount and own it forever. So they're already doing back end stuff to start getting those back compat Call of Duty games ready to rock as soon as it lights up. You know what I'm saying? So they are moving towards that direction.
Well, also the fact that they're saying what their next move is going to be, the FTC. I mean, that's just proof that this is done and clear.
Exactly. So they're already doing that. But then the other thing, which was, I believe, even more wild, is that Microsoft has a job listing where they're looking for someone to help. It's a senior finance manager with a drive for partnership, results, and great communication skills to take on high impact role within our team. And that's for our newest game studio additions to Xbox Gaming, Activision Blizzard King.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
So they've already done it. Like this is happening. They know it's happening. They're not doing this because they think there's a chance it's not going to go through.
At this point, dude, with the money that's been invested and that they've been, coming forward with, like, this is not a situation that we can go ahead and just delete.
Yep.
Like, is it possible? You can't.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. It's interesting that they're still going, but there's not a lot to talk about because it's going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lost.
Yeah, that's literally what that message says. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, like, you just need to stop. So, like, let's just stop, right? All right. So we didn't talk about it before, because that was all about Jim Ryan and his situations.
Yes.
But, we did have that ransomware group that claimed to have breached all of Sony's systems.
Yeah, now, I've heard about that. Hacking.
It's crazy because this is not the first time that Sony has been in this situation. It seems like they have an issue with security.
Yeah.
Like it's a problem. Like they can't protect anything. I hear people saying that they don't put their credit card numbers or anything in Sony's spot, like on PlayStation.
I saw that too.
Because they're afraid of it getting taken. It's like, that's wild that Sony can't seem to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
So you think it's very fishy the way that this all went down. I have no trust in Sony right now. So I hear something like this and I'm like, okay, so this happened, right? And do they have the credit cards? Are they taking people's information? Are they taking money out? Like,
Sony's not saying
what's
anything.
missing? That's the problem. It is frustrating. It's ridiculous. Like, is it true? Did they confirm that this was true?
Sony hasn't said anything.
They haven't said a word.
Sony hasn't said anything.
All we've heard about were the threats about if you don't if you don't pay, we're gonna expose the information or whatever the heck it was. But we haven't heard anything else. And it just all sounds so stupid to me because it's like, they're gonna find you. So for me, I feel like this is I'm not buying into it as much as, I don't feel that urgency. I don't feel like I'm buying into the whole situation. Who's gonna be stupid enough, unless there are, all right, then excuse me, but who's gonna go ahead and tell them, "Well, if you don't give me this is gonna happen," when they're gonna find you and track you down.
You'd be surprised.
And why have they not? It's been days.
Agreed.
I don't know.
100% agree.
I feel like this is a very easy situation to figure out. And again, as you stated, we're not hearing shit from Sony.
Yeah, like I think that's the craziest part. Like, why would they not go ahead and make a statement?
Especially if it
Be like,
has to
"Hey,
do with
this
their
is not
fans,
real,"
right?
or
And their
"This is
credit cards
real."
are in there. Like, give people peace of mind, or go ahead and give them a warning so they can go ahead and cancel credit cards or pay attention to their stuff. It's like, get your head out of your own ass and come and talk to everybody else. Let us know what's going on. You have no problem running our credit cards. You have no problem taking our money. You have no problem releasing 1,800 versions of the PlayStation 5. Right? So freaking come and talk.
Facts.
Such bullshit.
It's true. It's true. It's wild, but it's true. So, I mean, look, we don't have anything concrete about it. Obviously, this is just like an addition to the rest of Sony's issues.
Yeah, it's a pile of
I
shit.
feel like it's like a downward spiral. Like what? Like they need to like show us gameplay of like Wolverine tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that'd be nice.
do something to change
The narrative. Yep.
a little bit, bro.
Like, they're not even trying. It's like, man, we are shitty, aren't we?
Yeah, seriously, yo. They're like, man, it's really nothing we could do about this. We're just trash, apparently. It's like, it's wild. It's wild. So I want to move on because we can only take so much energy there. Keeping on this train though of crazy shit going on. Supposedly, Nvidia their offices in France got raided.
Yo,
Damn.
you can't make this shit up. You can't.
French government
What's going
officials have
on?
raided the Nvidia offices in France as part of an investigation into anti-competitive practices by the company. Holy shit. According to the journal, raids of this nature are hours-long exercises in which officials turn up early in the morning, search a company's premises, seize physical and digital materials, and interview employees who arrive to work. Wow. I just don't understand, dude. Like, literally everything is happening right now.
Yep.
Sony spiraling, right? You got Jimmy fucking getting fired. You got their the all their information being stolen. We have no games on the way from them outside of Spider-Man. Then you have Epic shutting down like the Mediatonic. They're firing people. You got Nvidia losing, like they're getting raided for anti-competitive shit. Like this is like some weird ass.
It's crazy, dude. The question is this all connected? Is this like fun with Dick and Jane? Like, this sounds like that type of situation. Like, what's happening? I don't know, dude. It seems that way. Is this like, are things gonna hit the fan and this is it? Like, are we gonna find out this is just the beginning of the stuff we're gonna hear?
Is this like remember, these three people are all very high in their fields.
Mhm.
Is this just like a way of showing the world that hey, things are changing?
Yep.
And the top is gonna fall and the bottom will rise.
Yep.
Because PlayStation has all this shit happening to it. Epic, which is top, I mean, Fortnite is one of the biggest games in the world. And Nvidia is the big dog in the PC graphics and all that stuff. AMD is the small dog.
sometimes you get to the top by doing really shady things.
And then it comes back
And
and
then it
bites you in
comes
the
back and
ass.
it bites you. And could this be the year where everybody's getting got?
Oh my god, I completely forgot too. Live Supremacy said it. Sega. Creative Assembly. They were making a game for Sega. Well, Sega owns them, but called HYENAS.
I heard about that too.
Yep, which was a multiplayer games as a service, shooter. And yeah, so all right, here I have the statement. It says Sega Sammy has confirmed they are overhauling its European operations to cope with the macroeconomic conditions. As part of that effort, it is canceling HYENAS, which is a live service game, and some other unannounced titles. Dude. All right. Well,
Wow.
this is the one thing I will say immediately that comes to mind, right? Like immediately in my mind, as soon as ABK is closed, Microsoft's going to buy Sega. Okay. This is happening. Sega is on a down. As soon as, Microsoft are no joke, bro. They smell that shit.
Yeah.
They smell weakness. They're like, they're in the forest hunting.
Because they're watching everything and they have the money to buy it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're watching and they wait. They want a good deal. They're not looking to just waste money, right? They want a good deal. So they wait till you're down. It's this right here is a down situation for Sega. Not that they're down as an entire entity, but the fact that they're restructuring stuff, having to overhaul stuff.
It's not a good look, dude.
It's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look. So yeah. Live Sprint says Epic sold Bandcamp to Song Trader. Okay, so that is less of a selling stuff is different because you don't you're getting that team is staying together. It's just somebody else owns them, but that's definitely Epic kind of shedding its weight.
Yeah, I think live supremacy means the money, the income from selling that they need.
Desperate.
Yeah,
they're trying to get the money.
Yep.
John says, always been the case since the ABK was announced. They lacked integrity at the time to show their teeth, felt for Sony players.
Yep.
Ryan's exit right now says it all. Facts.
Yeah.
100%.
This is not how I saw this year play out.
Yeah, dude, it's been like this crazy catastrophe.
So great. We started with freaking Microsoft giving us a direct and throwing a game in right away. And then from there, it was just crazy after crazy.
I agree. Now, this happened in Sega, right? And now, like I said, I feel like they're in that weak position to go ahead and possibly be scooped up by Xbox. But one company who's not interested in getting scooped up by Xbox is Capcom, the makers of Resident Evil. And there was an interview with them, and he was asked if Microsoft pulled up with their fat ass check and come over to you and say, hey, listen, let's make this happen. Let's have two become one. You know what I'm saying? He says he would decline an acquisition offer from Microsoft, and he sees the companies as equal partners. Looks forward to growing their relationship with Apple.
Oh, holy crap. What? Okay, so I was so when you started this, I was like, okay, whatever. They're just either not trying to, or they haven't thrown the right number at you. But now hearing Apple's name in that, oh my God, in that thing, that's freaking crazy.
Well, remember, they're doing 2 games for them. They have Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4 Remake.
They're looking to see that money come in, and that is gonna grow, dude. They're gonna grow a lot from being able to put their games on freaking Apple.
It's 100% a big deal. It's 100% a big deal.
And that's why they don't want, they're like, not now. Nope, you're not gonna mess up this deal for me.
Yep.
This is the relationship. This is my baby mama.
Yeah, dude. Again, the the amount of people who have a phone from Apple is a whole different ballgame.
Mhm.
Eric says WWE wasn't for sale either. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I don't really follow WWE wrestling anymore, but I think if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong, but I think I heard somewhere that WWE is now owned by UFC.
Oh.
If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. But I'm pretty sure that's what I'm hearing, that the sale went through, and now Ultimate Fighting Champions, Ultimate Fighting Championship League or whatever it is, the UFC, they own them, which is
Nice.
wild.
Damn.
John says keeping it real too, though, is the fact that Sony had lots of time to react to this. They knew it was coming for how long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And they did a shitty job handling all this. UFC owns WWE.
There it is. Thank you.
There you go. Those are the facts. Look at that. That's wild. So,
Yes.
in that same interview, Capcom says that he believes that games should cost more money. He thinks that they're too cheap for what they cost. He says from back in the day, the amount of it was like 15, 20 times more to make a game, but the pricing only went up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So he believes that. And then the pricing is going to be on the phones at full price. So Apple will charge $60 for the upcoming iPhone 15 Pro version of Resident Evil 4 Remake.
As
Now,
they should.
I think that's the way it should
I
be.
think that's fair. I think
it's
that we
fair,
will be
absolutely.
I think
really
it's very
freaking angry if we're
justified.
getting the same version of the game and they're paying $20 on the phone and we paid 60 or $70. Like, we wouldn't be happy with that. So yes, they have to charge full price.
I agree. They have to shift the narrative if they want there to be success with the phones,
Yeah.
and make people understand that there are games on your phone that cost full price.
Yes, and
That's just
again,
what it
they
is.
can't possibly say, "Look, we're giving you the same quality," but then you're contradicting yourself if you charge any less.
Agreed. And honestly, that's the only way that this is going to work, and it has to start somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Again, we all know that in the mobile market, it's like the race to the bottom, right? People sell games for $1, $2, $3, right? If you see something for $5, you're like, like that's a lot, right? For like,
Suspect.
but it's also a lot for what it is,
Yeah.
right? Because if I know I'm getting Resident Evil 4 Remake, the real game, on my phone, then
That's a different tune.
it is a different tune.
Yeah.
It's a different tune 100%. So I feel like it has to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And again, this is the best year to start it because not everyone's going to have it. So it's kind of like just their soft way of getting into it. And then next year, once both phones can do it and
Yeah.
Android gets involved and all this other shit, then they can go ahead and do like a much more aggressive, version of it
Agreed.
for sure. So next up is going to be our boy Yves Guillemot from Ubisoft.
Okay.
So remember, Ubisoft did this deal with Microsoft. This is a investment into the cloud.
Yes.
Right. So they had an interview with Financial Times, and these are just some quotes that came out of it that are pretty important, I would say, and I think is going to lead to interesting discussion. Yves Guillemot says, streaming will transform the video games industry just like Netflix revolutionized television and cinema. When Netflix first said it was going to go into streaming, their shares fell a lot and they were widely criticized. Today, we see what they have become. He added, it's going to be the same with video games, but it will take time. But when it takes off, it will happen very quickly.
Mhm.
We strongly believe in the next 5 to 10 years, many games will be streamed and will also be produced in the cloud. Produced in the cloud. That's what pushed us to go forward with the Microsoft deal. Guillemot would not disclose financial details for the streaming deal, which will involve a one-off payment to Microsoft. Okay, so I wanted to read that, and I want to use that as like a jump off point,
Okay.
where we can kind of go ahead and see see what we feel about this conversation, right? Because honestly, Netflix is like that trajectory is very similar
I
to
agree.
what we're looking at for
Mhm.
streaming of games.
Yes.
Because remember, they brought in the idea of streaming to a world that was all about physical disc, right? So, if anything, gaming is in a better position now than Netflix was when it was going to the subscription service.
Yeah.
Because remember, Netflix had no studios of their own. They were licensing all the TV and movies that they had
Mhm.
on their thing. Um, and again, they started with the disc and they had to figure all that out, and then they transitioned into offering both, right? Remember, you can have the disc
Yes.
and the subscription, or like and be able
You
to
can stream through the
stream.
disc as well. You will get, I
Exactly.
think, like, you can sign up for 1 or 2 a week or something like that.
Yeah, I think they even got higher if you paid
Yeah.
more, but yeah, it was a wild time. We lived that, right?
Yeah.
We saw that happen, right?
Yeah, and
And
everything was licensed. They
everything
had to
was
pay for
licensed. They were
everything.
relying
Now
on
they're
everything.
Yep.
They had to deal with what Disney they had to deal with.
Yep.
They had
Nickelodeon, they
like
had SpongeBob in there, they
Friends,
had
they had
Friends.
The
Yep.
Office, all that stuff in there. And they fought and battled and grew and they stuck with it, right? Where everyone else didn't think it was going to be anything.
Mhm.
Now, look at all these years later, and everybody's in it, right? Everybody's doing it,
Yep.
right? Like physical is just not something that many people care about. And I think that, I'm really interested to hear what Madman has to say about this as well, because he is younger and he's very attached to physical media. So I definitely am interested to hear what Madman has to say about this. But Netflix being I'm sorry, not Netflix. Xbox being in the position that they're in now, and not just Xbox, but just cloud gaming and digital gaming in general. At least right now, we're already moving away from physical disc, and
Mhm.
people are used to just being digital, right? The problem that people have connecting the two together is the idea of playing without it being locally played and playing it through the cloud because they feel like there's some latency that will make the game unplayable or won't look as good or any of that stuff. But the fact of the matter is that right now, like right now, as we speak, it works. It works very, very well. Um, Xbox, a lot more people are playing on it, and now there are like wait times and stuff like that. Man trying to play on the cloud, and
Yeah.
he had to like wait for mad long to be able
Yeah,
to
it took
Yeah.
like
start it.
20
That took a
minutes.
while.
Like that's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it took a while. Meanwhile, on GeForce Now, I have the 4080 tier, which gives you priority access, so I don't have to wait. And I play games on there, and it's like is better than being native on some of the weaker devices. It's
Yeah.
definitely like I much rather play Starfield on my G Cloud via GeForce Now versus playing it on my Xbox or playing it on the ROG Ally. It just looks better. It runs better and it's 60 FPS and or higher.
Yeah.
So in 4K, right? Like it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a phenomenal technology. Um but it's not everywhere yet, right? It's not all over the place, but it's out there, right? So this is where we're starting. So the question is do you see, in the foreseeable, he said 5 to 10 years. Do you think in the next 5 to 10 years we could be in a world where we're not looking for consoles or the hardware first, where we can actually be playing most of our games through the cloud? Doodle, I'll start with you and then we'll go to Batman.
Okay. Um, I do see that. I think that the little taste of it right, is Game Pass, right? You go ahead, you click into a game, you get out, you go click into another one. That's the life essentially, right? Like you don't have to go ahead, grab a game, throw it in. If you feel like playing a few games in one shot, go ahead, switch them out every time. Um, you also sometimes I feel like I want to play something and then I change my mind right after I click into it. And I'm like, I'm not up for this crap today. So it just makes life easier, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because it sounds like something so simple, but it's not. And I see the fight about the idea of it, and I also appreciate the fact that they're talking about Netflix because look at how seamless that happened, right? Because it truly was. You couldn't have imagined, right, when they started sending you the disc to then having the streaming and the disc, and then where they are now, right? Like that that's if we explained that when they first started, we'll be like, "No, no way." Like, that just sounds crazy, right? So, I like the fact that they're saying 5 to 10 years, and I think why it's gonna take that much longer, it's like, why it will take 5 to 10 years, it's simply for the people that wouldn't wanna do this, the people that will try to fight the process and continue to try to hold them back
yeah,
in that way,
I
you
agree.
know?
I mean,
I
they're definitely diving into it, right?
Yeah, another thing to compare to something like that, it's like obviously like books, right? Honestly, I don't even know how Barnes& and Nobles is still around, but they
A lot of
still
people like
have
those
some out
books.
there. Obviously, they offered, having the books there, they have the food, they sell more though. They have had to expand to like selling pops and some of them have like toys and all kinds of other stuff. So they've had to grow, outside of just books and magazines because everything is digital.
Agreed. Now, you also got to keep in mind, like when you think about somebody like Netflix, right? Even when they went digital, it wasn't it wasn't an equal quality to watching the movie physical.
Yeah.
Like the people who were watching it at that time was trading quality with convenience,
Mhm.
right? It's easier for me to watch it. So even though it doesn't look that good, I can still I rather just stream it, right?
Yes.
But that's the way it started.
Mhm.
But over time, that increased the quality,
That's the way it
right?
started and people were still doing it,
Yeah,
right? Because
but
you
it
said
increased.
something very important, convenience.
Exactly. So convenience is key, but they increase that quality over time to the point where now, unless you're like super, like a super, uh, like look at the movie and you can like, you really can't, like, you really into like the pixels and the
Yes.
details of it, right?
The
Like,
nitty gritty.
you cannot tell me that the 4K full fat HDR experience of Netflix is so much more worse
Yeah.
than putting in a 4K, Blu-ray disc.
Like Netflix does look a little worse, but it's not like, oh my god, it's like saying a PS5 game looks so much worse than an Xbox Series X game. That's like, it's like you can if you really pay attention, I'm sure it looks worse, but like not by a substantial amount. You're gonna lose your shit if you don't have the
Not
But
noticeably unless you're
it's a
looking for it
negligible
is what
amount
he means.
is what it is, right?
exactly.
So meaning that it's not something that you're looking at it. You don't look at the image on Netflix and be like, "This looks
No,
trash."
no shot
Right?
in
It
hell.
looks amazing.
Yeah.
The sound is perfect. They got Dolby Atmos. They have everything you can want coming through streaming, right? So but it took time, right? It wasn't right off the rip.
Mhm.
Now, John has some things to say about cloud, right? So I'm gonna bring him in, right? So cloud gaming will need to take an exceptional leap from where it is now, though, bro. For sure. Agreed. He said he tried to play earlier and couldn't connect to the server.
That sucks.
That does blow. He
That's so
says, in my
frustrating.
opinion, cloud gaming is ass, but I'm a console guy with a 4K TV. Okay, I get that. Cloud features are interesting, but not complete gaming over a cloud server. Hell no. Okay, I get that. Ended physical after my DVD collection. Don't have the space, bro. Fuck that. Okay,
Yes, that's exactly
eventually
what I
That
you
makes
might feel
mean.
that
sense.
way for gaming,
Thank
but
you
this is
for
my
saying
question,
that.
John, and I
I
want
feel the same way about the freaking space. It's
100%. We
crazy.
have like a tower that has a whole bunch of movies in it, and we never open it
Yeah.
because
I
it's like,
mean, I
Never
don't know.
touch
shit,
it.
Like,
I'd rather buy
I
the
know.
movie digital
Again,
again
then
than
to
get up and
go
go to
look
that
for it.
damn
Yeah.
tower and see if I can find that
here's the
movie.
thing. I don't know. Wait, hold on. So I think with video games,
Wait. I'm gonna come to you now.
good.
But I'm gonna ask John while Madman is giving his answer about what he feels about this. I want you to answer this simple question. If you went ahead and sat down on your couch, had the TV, were handed a remote, okay, a controller, and you start the game and you play it. If there was no perceivable difference to you, if you could not tell the difference that you were not playing on a console or a PC, but instead you were playing streaming from the cloud, if there was no perceivable difference to you, would you still be against playing on the cloud? So give me that answer in there. We'll talk about it after Man gives you his bars. Go ahead, Man.
All right. So what I think with video games, it's a bit easier because unlike movies, which are decades and decades of the same format, but just come together because they're movies. With video games, it's platform through platform. They have their own libraries. You collect the games based on the platform you have or want. And if you get rid of your console, you're more than likely going to get rid of your games too. So I think that's easy to build a collection of, oh, I'm gonna get these games for this system and stuff like that, rather than I'm gonna get as many movies as I can because they're all just movies that'll work on any Blu-ray player I find, literally. So yeah, I think that's a big differentiator. In movies, I get it. They kind of be like silly to just buy everyone physically. At that point, it's kind of like unless it's like a movie you love that it's worth owning physically or something like that, I think that's fine. Or if like the box art or like it's a box set that's super nice, and you're like, well, why not? But if it's just a random movie, like just wait till it comes streaming or just buy it digitally so it doesn't take up your precious space.
Yeah. So, Madman, you brought up a great point that I didn't think about. So, like, the games are attached to the box.
Yes.
You sell the box, your games are gone. They need to find a way to link it to your account.
What are you talking about, Doodle?
The game.
What games?
It's not a digital code. That's only for digital codes. If you put a disc in an Xbox, you're gonna have to put the disc in every time.
Are you talking about, like, downloading the game?
Yeah, when
No,
you
that's
download
not
a
how
game,
it
that's not
works in
tied to a
video
box,
games.
that's tied
It's
to your
not
account.
okay, thank you. I
Yeah,
thought
you
he
could be
said
on
it was tied to a
yeah, that's why
box.
we have like 50 Xboxes around here.
Yeah.
But no, so I agree. Now, John says no, but we are decades away from that, bro. I'd still need an Xbox controller though. Facts. We're definitely it's not here yet, right? It's
Yeah.
not here 100%. I mean, I can tell you that at this moment in time, for me, it is 100% good enough.
Yeah.
Meaning with our internet, again, but this is only for us, right? Because if you don't have these things, then it won't line up. But with our internet and with a GeForce Now 4080 tier subscription, to be clear, I'm talking about that particular thing. xCloud, I think, is fine. I think they still have a ways to go
Yeah.
to like be at that level. But GeForce Now, their 4080 tier that they allow you from the cloud, that is amazing. Okay. It's amazing. It feels native. I don't feel any lag. I don't feel any latency on my G Cloud when I'm playing there. Um, it's it's honestly amazing. So we are there in some degree, but like in the masses, no, we're not there yet. But that's what Eves is talking about in Ubisoft. He's talking about the fact that we're going to get there,
Yeah.
right? That's what they're working towards. If we remember the leak from Xbox that we talked about, and the
How can we
next,
forget?
it's such a crazy 2 weeks. It's been insane. The next console is looking like it's going to be a hybrid console,
Mhm.
and it's going to be partially a regular system and then partially powered by the cloud, right? So the thing is that if the cloud is going to be taking part in the game being rendered towards you, right? Already, what's the difference of it just being native 100% in the cloud and you're not using your console,
Yeah.
right? It's still sending you the the image, to your console to help amplify that. So the same difference would be here if it's just directly cloud. Eves does say it, right? He says that not only would it be uh streamed from the cloud, but produced in the cloud. So the actual game and everything is being done on the
So,
cloud.
as PlayStation would say, organic.
Organic. Agreed. Agreed. John says, with countries still without internet and gaming going full cloud, decades away. Cloud still runs like ass compared to the hardware. Well, yeah, it depends on where you are, right? Because here it doesn't. Like in the States, on the East Coast, we have amazing internet and it feels native on GeForce. But again, the same way you can look at the places that don't have the internet, well, those places also can't watch Netflix,
Yeah,
right? But that didn't stop Netflix
from
from
doing their
becoming
thing, yeah.
dominant, and it didn't stop Disney from joining them, and it didn't stop HBO Max from joining them, it didn't stop Peacock
That's an
from getting in
excellent
the race.
point, see?
So these places that don't have internet, hopefully, as the world gets more ingrained in the internet, hopefully that'll help push those governments to supply internet and to have these, philanthropists and people who are super rich go and try to bring internet to these countries. That being said, I mean, dude, there's people in like these poor countries who are rocking phones,
Yeah.
who are out here taking videos and like tweeting and like saying shit. So like, as much as it's like not great, mobile internet still functions and you can play on your phone streaming. If as they progress, they can continue to compress it to the point where you require so little data to play that it can be something.
And this is the thing, it can get frustrating, but we gotta also remember where the internet started, right? And if we were okay with it then, and then that slowly evolved, right? If you don't have the access to it as much, right? And you get a little bit more, that's gonna feel better, and then more is gonna feel better, and more is gonna feel better, right? So I just feel like it depends what you're comparing it to as
Agreed.
well.
Agreed.
Yeah, of course.
It's just time. Time is going to make it where we see more of it. That being said, Facebook or Meta
Oh my gosh.
just had their summit or whatever it is where they show their new things, and they just announced Meta Quest 3. It's coming,
Wow.
right? So it looks pretty cool. I might put it on my Christmas list.
Wow.
Ooh.
Doodle. But it does look pretty cool. But the biggest thing for me, and this is where I saw this and I was like, that's pretty fly. Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to Quest in December.
No way.
So the way they showed it,
Alright.
you're sitting down. This new one has AR capabilities, so it has great color sense. So when you look out with the headset on, you can see where you are in color and great detail.
Okay.
And while you're sitting there, you can turn on xCloud and it'll project the screen in front of you, and you could sit there and stream your game on this huge screen in front of you in 4K, because the headset is 4K. And it looks freaking amazing.
All right.
That's pretty dope. So again, as much as like these hard like the headsets,
Yeah.
right? Remember, you need wired for a lot of these headsets, but
Mhm.
if you're sitting here on a Quest that's not wired and you're streaming. Now, this says Xbox Cloud Gaming. I could only imagine that that also probably means GeForce Now and whatever other streaming services are out there will be there. But think about this. At some point, the cloud will be powerful enough that they can stream the game to you in VR, meaning
Yeah.
like stream the VR game to you
Yeah, the VR version of it.
where you can just be not connected, but have a hyper realistic, game that you're in because it's streamed. So you're in your house or you're somewhere sitting where there's Wi-Fi and it's just beaming the game and it's fast enough, it loads enough around you so that whatever movements you make, it's already there. So it reacts fast. I mean, the potential is high.
Exciting.
Like it's super exciting. It's super exciting. I think honestly, like there's a lot of cool stuff that's gonna come. And I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I know it can be frustrating when you think of if this is not the world that you're hoping for. But I mean, to be clear, and like it's not gonna delete what we already
Everything
have.
else,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? So like the fact that you could play cloud is not gonna delete game consoles because that's not gonna happen. Like it's just not. Like it would be suicide for these companies to say there's no um hardwired box.
Well, honestly, this is the best way to think about it, right? We had freaking what? um Phones, right? Then we had wireless ones, and then we had beepers out, and then we had the cell phone, and then it was the flip phone, and now we're on the iPhone. Like it just continues to evolve, and you just got to move along with it. Or like I don't think, I mean, maybe some people are still running around with a flip phone, but like from back in the day,
Well, they
but
sell new flip phones with
I'm
touchscreens on them.
talking, you know what I'm saying, like
Like the
the
old people. Yeah, there's
yes.
super old people who are still rocking them.
So it's like it was difficult, right, to make those changes and switch from one thing to the other. It's kind of like, "Oh," but we're there. It didn't stop it moving forward.
I agree 100%.
And you know what's crazy?
1000%.
If we don't move it, that's what in my opinion, like, when you hear, the older people talk about, like, not understanding technology, or I don't know how you use that phone, or I don't know how you play those games.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it happens,
Yeah.
you know?
For sure. I
I
mean, look,
agree.
in this household at least, we're always going to be getting whatever new tech is out there. That's like I just love it. I love playing with it. I remember, dude, I've been on cloud gaming since on live.
Ooh.
I don't know, Doodle, if you remember, I had gone to New York. Remember, there was like on live was going to be there. There was
Mhm.
like this small like tech show. And I went over there and I met the guy who created it and played it for the first time, and I lost my mind. The fact that I was able to control a game and it had really bad latency, but it didn't feel like it did because they had like compensation built in.
Yeah,
But like I was just playing, I remember Split Second, the driving game Split Second back in the day.
yeah.
I was playing it streaming and on this little tiny box. I was like, oh my God, is that real? It's
It
like,
all
yeah,
starts
try it.
somewhere,
And
man.
dude, they still have, honestly, I wish they did this on Xbox or PlayStation. They still have the dopest freaking like UI. When you load it in to your on live, you turned it on. The
Yeah.
image that they showed you was all screens of people playing games and they were live.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they were live people playing games right now that you could either jump in and watch them, you could jump
Damn.
in and just play the same game as them, or if they were
Triple
playing a
damn.
multiplayer game, you can jump in and be in that multiplayer game with them.
That's pretty cool.
Shit.
That shit
Alright.
was so dope, so ahead of its time.
Watch all those people have bad internet.
Well, back then it was niche. It was not a thing that people did. And we're talking like when did Split Second come out?
I don't remember. I mean,
Look it
it's
up real
questionable
quick.
whether I was there.
Split Second, when that came out, I remember we were demoing it. It might have been even a little older at the time that I was demoing it, but it was like
2010.
2010. Yeah, I was about to say 2010 sounds about right. So I think it was like maybe 2011 that we demoed it because I think we were back in Jersey at that time.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that shit was so cool, and it's sad that it got ultimately, Sony owns all the assets of OnLive and Gaikai,
Isn't that ironic?
and they're not doing shit with it. It's crazy. What a waste.
Jeez.
It's wild waste, but I don't know. This is cool, man. The fact that they're bringing it there, bringing it to the headsets, it's really dope. All right, so I want to finish up real quick. Oh, well, actually, one quick tidbit, and then we're gonna finish up with the last thing. Did you? I don't know if you heard, but Scream, the movie Scream,
Yeah,
Yes.
Scream. I heard
Ghostface,
about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
he's finally getting a video game.
No way.
Ghostface.
And it's leaked, and supposedly it's Supermassive Games.
Like
What?
the Until
They make
Dawn
the
creator.
Quarry,
Yes.
Until
Oh my
Dawn,
god,
all those
that
games.
game was
Quarry.
so good. I
They're
didn't want to
making it.
play it.
That could actually be pretty awesome.
And man, we streamed the whole thing. Like we went ahead and,
Yep.
and it was so good. Oh my gosh, they're making it.
Well, this is leaked.
This
But
is crazy.
This is a rumor, but yeah, supposedly they are making a Scream game, which
That's pretty awesome.
is
You know,
fire.
it's kind of like about time when you really think about it.
I mean,
It's
the
like-
fact that he hasn't gotten a game yet, Scream,
Yeah.
like Ghostface, like I'm shocked.
Yeah, you would think that it would be like a thing, but apparently not. Apparently not.
I mean, there's a
Alright,
rumor like
well-
Ghostface is gonna be in Mortal Kombat 1 via DLC.
Really?
Yeah, I heard something about that, or at least they try. Oh, you heard they try to get John Wick in Mortal Kombat? Like it's
Oh
real.
my
They
gosh.
did. They really tried.
That
but they
would
just
be
wouldn't let it
so
happen.
cool.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's actually real. There's like some interview, I'm pretty sure, and like they say they tried and they wouldn't do it.
They didn't have enough money for John.
Maybe.
They didn't have enough money for John. Poor guy. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted to kind of just touch on that. I
Yeah.
think with Supermassive doing it, that can be super duper dope.
I agree.
I also wanted to mention again before we finish with the last thing I want to talk about. So the Xbox Series X and S consoles have now surpassed 500,000 units in Japan.
Ooh,
Alright.
let's go.
So it's impressive because that's like a number that they haven't reached in a long
That's a
time.
big deal.
But it does put in perspective that they're still not killing it in Japan because you have the Xbox 360, which they finished at 1.61 million.
Yeah.
So they still have to do they have to do this two more times.
But you
to
know, it's a
even
step
get
forward,
close to it.
see, though. That's what
is.
we need to
It is.
see.
I think the Xbox One, I don't know how much the Xbox One did, which will probably be a better gauge instead of comparing it to the 360. But I think the only reason this would be news is because it's doing better than the Xbox One generation.
Yeah.
Right. So they're making progress, which is important. All right. And then the last thing I want to talk about, just because the previews have been popping, Alan Wake 2.
Ooh, yes.
Hands-on previews are out. People are loving it.
Oh, that's awesome.
People are loving it,
Yeah, I've heard the same.
and I'm very excited for this game.
Just not for
I-
now.
Well, I'm not gonna play it like as a replacement of Starfield. I'm still gonna be playing it, but I think if we don't do anything before then, that for sure is a game we're gonna have to take a night and stream that shit
Yeah,
on the channel. Because
for sure.
because yeah, that is it's an amazing looking game. Supposedly people are saying how beautiful it is, that it's stunning, like graphically, which we already know. Like Remedy, they make crazy beautiful games.
Yeah, I'm also very intrigued by like the story. What are we gonna get in there? It looks it's exciting.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah, there's just like a quick quote here. It says Alan Wake 2 feels like I'm watching an already decorated developer level up before my eyes.
Oh wow. Okay.
And another quote says there is nothing this year you'll play like Alan Wake 2.
Wow. All right.
People are really sweating this game. They're making a big deal about it, and for good reason because it is a huge we've been waiting for this game
Yeah.
forever, like fucking the Alan Wake was on the 360.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been stupid long to get this sequel.
I mean,
Um,
Alan Wake is known as like a masterclass in video game narrative, and part two taking that into like a horror twist, and it seems very unique. So plus a new protagonist, like it seems pretty interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Doodle, are you excited for Alan Wake
I
Part 2?
kind of am because I claim that I don't like these type of games, and then I'm like, let's do it.
Well, only
It's
part
so
two was a
good.
horror, not the original.
Well,
So
it was scary. There's difference just it's suspenseful just because it's not horror per se. Dude, you got fucking crazy jump scares a bunch of times and freak you out, man.
yeah.
Part 1 was really good,
So
especially if you played it at the time that it released.
it's coming out soon, you guys. It's like what? Like a
The
month of
27th of October.
less than a month, right?
Yeah.
Wait, the 27th of October. So we're a month away, pretty much.
Yeah,
So let's get it.
absolutely.
It's crazy that's coming out like right before Halloween. I wish there was a little bit more time than just like a few days. Again, like for me, like November 1st is like Christmas time. Let's
feel that.
go.
I feel that.
But yeah, if it's anything like they're making it sound, it seems like it's gonna go past November 1st.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a big game. I feel like it's gonna be stunning. I mean, I gotta keep playing Starfield, man. I don't know where I'm gonna be by the time this game comes out. So we'll see. But Starfield is still just the game I want to play, man. It's so hard for me to think about playing other things, but like I know I want to play other things. You get what I'm saying? Like
You will.
you understand like what I'm saying? I'm in Starfield.
I understand
I
that.
can't play anything else because I just want to play Starfield.
You're gonna want to play them if you're playing them with me, though.
Yes.
So there you
That's
go.
the thing.
Shit is on October 27th, love.
Yeah, 27th, not the 7th. Yeah, so it got moved back. They delayed it because there was too many games out.
Yeah, it was supposed to come earlier.
Well, then
sure.
it's not really delaying now, is it?
Well, it was delayed to the 27th. It was
Also,
pushed back.
pushed farther back.
Yeah, it was pushed back.
Oh, I see.
John says Xbox folks still waiting for 4K 60 frames on these consoles. Seriously. Well, I mean, honestly, next we'll see what these next line of games have, right? Like, what is Fable going to be? What is Avowed going to be?
Oh my goodness.
If these are only 4K, if these are only 4K 30,
Yeah,
then that would be whack.
it would.
Then
Will be
I'd be like, yo,
problematic.
You need a
guys
new
gotta do
box. You
something.
need to upgrade.
Yeah,
you need
to
something
upgrade. Especially if PlayStation comes in with their Pro and they're hitting 4K 60, that would be an embarrassment.
for the third-party games.
It would be an embarrassment, yeah. Well, even their first-party games, because if PlayStation can make first-party games on their new console that are 4K 60, meanwhile Xbox
What the
is on
hell
4K
first-party
30,
games are they making? See, that's
Well,
what I was getting
they're gonna
to.
make something. God damn it, they're gonna make The Last of Us Part 3.
I hope so.
and
I
I'm
want a
gonna lose my
prequel to The
mind.
Last of Us. I want to see
You
that
still have
time.
to finish Part 2,
I
though. We
need
gotta
to
get
see
back
that
to it,
story
dude.
play out
We have
between
to get
Joel
back to
and
it.
Tommy. I need to know what took place then. They hinted so much to it in the game. I want to know what took place. And I'm
Yeah,
excited for the show too. The show is freaking awesome.
Oh,
I
now
agree.
the strike is over. We're free. We'll get
Yeah, it
season
should be
2.
happening. It should be happening. This is all good news, guys. It's all good news.
And we will get some of those news to you tomorrow on
it's
our
like
Anime
news
and
segment.
Beyond.
Movie.
Absolutely. Also, just as before we leave, Cocoon, that's a game that's
Mhm.
coming in Game Pass, I think tomorrow.
Okay.
Ooh.
Been getting 10s.
Oh, you heard that,
like,
Shin?
crazy high. It's a game that I looked at and I was like, okay, that looks cool-ish, but
Yeah.
not like a game for me.
Yes.
But
Now
when
you're
you
like,
got numbers
sign
like
me up.
that, I'm like, yo, that sounds pretty dope. We'll see after I'm done with Starfield. There's so many games to try after Starfield.
I know.
It's crazy. Shintaro says, honestly, I've been having an absolute blast recently with my Series S. I'm
Nice.
so glad for you that you got that, man.
So happy for you,
So
Shin.
happy for you, bud.
And he's got Game Pass.
Yeah, man, that's the way. That's awesome. John says my 1X did 4K 30. Exactly. It's stupid. Like, why are we not 4K 60, man? It's crazy. And John says, all on the shelf for later, bro. Absolutely, man. That back catalog. There's gonna be a dip at some point, and I'm gonna want to dip into it.
See, that's all I'm saying, John. Like, there's no rush. You go ahead and you'll get to those things. Feeling that pressure of like, I have to try these things is not healthy, is not good, is not going to allow you to enjoy whatever you are playing to the max. So just Akuta Matata.
Absolutely.
He's no worries.
Absolutely. Guys, with that, we are gonna wrap up the show. Guys, I want to thank you all so very
You
much
guys
for
so
coming
much.
through.
You guys are the best. You're so much
You guys are
fun.
awesome.
This
bro.
was so dope. And this is not our normal day. So I do appreciate you guys coming to rock with us. Normally we're here on Saturdays at 3, but our twins got their 4th birthday on Saturday. So we're
Let's
gonna
go.
take that for the family. We were thinking about doing Sunday, but it's like, this with all this crazy news
So
going
much
on,
happened, dude.
it's like it's better just get it out. Let's do it now.
Yes.
And let's just keep it moving. So we definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us. Reminder before we head out and go that YouTube hates us and won't let us monetize. So if
It has
you
to
have
end, see, at
any
some point.
desire
That hate has to go away.
It does. If you have any desire to help support the channel in any way, please feel free to join our Patreon. It is linked in the chat. It's up there sitting pretty. So if you guys would love to, that would be great. Just like these fine people down at the bottom of the screen you see scrolling by. Our boy Jacob Novick, who was here earlier, Mr. Joanna Dark, who was here earlier, and our homie Dragon Heart Yobi.
Yes.
We do appreciate
Thank
you
you
guys. And
guys.
thank you all so very much. Remember, tomorrow we will be back live at the same exact time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, with our show OnPoint Anime and Beyond. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So
yes, I'm
definitely come
excited.
back
I
for
can't
that.
wait.
Remember that we will also be on Mav's show tonight. Doodle
Tomorrow
will
night.
Tomorrow night we'll be making her first appearance on Mav's show, just like me. That's gonna be a fun time. So definitely come support us out there. Come check us out. This weekend we're off, so we're not doing anything this weekend besides being with our family. And then Monday we will be back though, okay, with Morning Quest with Doodle and CMoney.
Let's go.
Where we'll be talking about anything that pops up this weekend and anything we want to dive deeper into. And the biggest thing about those shows is that it's so chat focused, is very much talking with you guys and really shooting the shit and just starting the week off right. So we do appreciate you guys for doing that. And then do not forget, this is the big one of everything. Do not forget, on Tuesday, we have our show, her, him, and a guest.
Yes.
And this week's guest will be none other than Dirt Griggity.
Yes, let's go.
Awesome dude with an awesome show. Great pillar of the community. Can't wait to have him on.
I'm
Can't
so
wait to rock with
excited.
him, get to know him. So please set the date on your calendar. Show up for this man. Show him some love in the chat. We do appreciate you guys. Listen, it was such an awesome show today. Thank you all again
Thank you guys
for rocking with us, especially for our homies in the chat. I know there's a lot of people watching, but the people in the chat is so dope interacting with you guys. John, Shin, everybody else who was part of it. We really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys.
Us. And that's it. We're done, guys. We're gonna end the show the way we end every single show.
Yes.
Doodle.
Yes.
Madman.
Yes.
We're done.
Nice.
I know.
Until next time.
You're intruding.
You're intruding.
You're intruding.